Dub, AEW.
Oh shit!
I
We
would
already
love to start off by saying, Tony, wasn't a winning night for you.
make sure we are live. It looks like we're live. We just kicked it off with AEW and Tony Khan. We need to talk. Welcome in, everybody. We are here in conjunction with the PWO. Pesci's also hosting it too on his side. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot to talk about. And like I said before, yeah, there's a lot to take away tonight. We got a lot to talk about, and I got a lot of gentlemen here. Say hello. Say hello to all streams, all sides. Let's go.
Hello.
Sup, some?
Mm-hmm.
And tonight, Tony Khan. We got to talk, Tony. Tony, what were we doing? You look like a clown, homie. Look like a big fucking clown. Oink oink or honk honk because you look like a
This
clown.
was not a winning night for the Khan family unless you're
What's
a
up,
Nick
Billy?
Khan.
Tony Khan looks like a clown, and this footage did not make Punk look any bad. It made Punk look like a hero.
Tony, it's kind of embarrassing that a man of Tony Khan's stature would say that this situation was the most scared he's ever been in his entire life in the history of wrestling. I didn't get that from that video. That looked like a normal fight that would take place between wrestlers.
Yes. Yes, it did. Indeed. And let me tell you this, Tony Khan. If this is your best shot in the dark, I want you to come out and talk about in your perspective about Brawl Out now. Now I want to know about Brawl Out because that seems like Punk's going to look like a fucking hero at this point too. Oh man.
Yeah, who knows what happened at Brawl Out? It's probably so petty it can't be.
Like, I get the fact that you were angry. Okay, so here's my thing. I get the fact that he was angry over CM Punk on the Iwani podcast, but this ain't it, Chief. AEW needs to work on being a solid number 2. You just proved Punk right. Jordan Kirby says, this was the most stupidest thing. AEW, shame on AEW. Yeah, everybody's saying it. Shame on AEW. Everybody's saying the same shit. Tonight, it just looked like a bunch of salty individuals.
McCormick, let me ask you a question. What did the video look like to you? Dangerous or not dangerous?
Oh, not dangerous at all, and yeah, definitely trying to capitalize. But yeah, I don't understand what they were going for, like their outlook of what they wanted the end result to be. But
It just looked like AEW was very salty about footage. That they were very salty about what CM Punk said. This was they were trying to throw a punch and they failed tonight and it didn't hit the mark and they wanted a ratings pop. They're probably going to get 100,000 people to come watch more, which will put them back at their normal numbers. It's not anything.
Maybe 900. Maybe 900.
Maybe 900 as Pesci's saying here. But everybody
was curious.
Yep.
Johnny, Bastard Wise Dog says AEW is the drizzling shits. Well, the problem is, I'm glad we got to see the footage. Let's just be frank. I wanted to see the footage. But when Tony Khan says he was scared for his life, this makes you think you can't take his word anymore.
No.
That was not fear. That looked like a normal thing that could happen every day at a wrestling event.
Can I say something too? If you look at the footage, right? If you want to talk about lunging for a second, it's kind of on Tony Khan's fault. If you look, Tony Khan is slapping this guy in the back of the neck. He's tapping him. And if you're in a fight, and anybody here has been in a fight, you know when somebody's tapping you from behind, you're in punching mode. So it looked like Punk kind of went over, did not lunge. It looked like he was more of, hey, don't ever touch me again. What? What are you going to do? You know what I mean? It didn't look violent. It just looked like a school fight.
I mean, I've worked at part-time, retail jobs where management and employee, where fights have escalated to worse than that, and people didn't bat an eye, or there was at least shoving.
SSTV, thank you for
there
that, homie. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like tonight, to be honest with you, it's like I did not see anything that made Punk look stupid. They were claiming that this was gonna make Punk look stupid. You just proved Eric Bischoff, you proved Vince Russo, you proved Jim Cornette right. You proved them right. And another constituent of mine, JD from New York, I said he's gonna have the best show in the world tonight. Well, we're already beating him to the punch of that one. Let's be real here. He's gonna have a field day on this. So is Joe Cronin and a bunch of others, including us here. We're having a field day over this. This Tony Khan looks like one of those kids at recess that you kicked his ball, and he's like, "I'm gonna go tell the teacher on you," and it's like, bro, it was nothing. It was not deep. This is not deep. But then here's the thing I don't understand. Maybe you guys feel the same way. Icon, how do you feel about the footage? I forgot to mention. How do you feel about the footage?
It kind of felt like I was mostly coping with like that, like fully. It's not like it's too surprising. It doesn't give up any good vibe off of that, and it just kind of rubbed me like to the full extent of the wrong way, and made like only like CM Punk kind of more like having like he got instead of like 4 million fans, more like 7 million in my thoughts.
It's
Yep.
it's what and another thing I'm gonna say here tonight. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but what was the fuck up with all the AEW wrestlers? It just feel like they got into a meeting room, right? The hour before the show came in. Like, oh guys, go shoot on WWE right now. We gotta shoot on WWE. Will
They didn't even
Ospreay?
do a good job shooting on WWE. Like what's his name said? Will Ospreay said something that Triple H already knows. But Triple H in his defense could say, hey guys, I did get the job because who I was with. But then I kicked ass when I got the position, and now nobody else wants me in charge. But me, you know what I mean? They want me to do it. Endeavor could have replaced Hunter.
Yes. And they almost did, but then
You can see it in Stephanie McMahon's face.
I'm gonna tell you guys this right now. This is playing. WWE is gonna play this up. You guys know this, right? WWE will play this up. They're already taking pub shots throughout the weekend. They did. And Tony Khan was upset about that. If you guys didn't read on Sports Illustrated, and this was covered by YouTubers out there of the world, Tony Khan was saying that this footage was supposed to be damning. He's upset over the Ioane interview, and it's like, why not Tony Khan? And I agree with somebody that said this, and I don't know if Pesci's following me with this one. Why not Tony Khan, if he was so pissed off, right? He has Ioane's number, right? Why does he get on the phone and be like, hey, Ioane, let's just set the record straight. Hey, Punk, let's set the record straight. You know what I mean? They didn't. I just think...
They were taking him out of balls, I think, for Tony Khan to...
Well, right now, Tony Khan looks like, no offense, he looks like a bitch right now. Like, I'm just saying. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but he looks like a bitch right now.
Oh, I mean, this whole night, that thing was a fiasco for not promoting any fight. Like, they didn't promote any matches. It didn't really call back nobody. You know, it just made everybody involved look foolish. You know, it was a...
Well, I'll say
Yeah,
this.
you saw FTR. FTR, yeah, their promo looked a little whack because they were in like street clothes, but they made a lot of good sense. Like, why are you guys showing that? It doesn't make us look any better there. It makes us look worse.
Well, I will also say this too. The thing with Tony Khan tonight, and this was the weird part, you could have literally ignored all this, made the footage look like a joke, where it was all like, you know, we were saying after the fact here, in the PWO chat, we were saying the same thing. We were like, why couldn't they clown around with that, make it into a joke? You know, our Jungle Boy comes out and goes, I'm the escape, you know, something. They could have made it into a nice story and kind of played on the idea of a joke. This is all just a joke, and we don't know what CM Punk is talking about. But instead, they did the opposite of that. They could have played this so better than they did. And I was expecting them to maybe, be hooligans and play around with this. They didn't. They fucked up. That's the thing. They're going to lose viewers because of it. I'll tell you, next week's Dynamite will tell you, and Collision and Rampage and Ring of Honor views will tell you where fans are feeling. And I think fans are sick of this shit. I think for Tony Khan, I think a lot of us have all said, just be a solid number 2.
I don't think fans should be sick. I think fans are sick of a lot of shit. I agree with you there. But I don't think they should have been sick of Tony showing this video tonight because we wanted to see it. I'm not like, damn, I saw that tonight and I'm pissed. I got to see it, and now we realize what a joke of a company we're dealing with. And when CM Punk said to Ariel, he goes, I don't know the exact wording, but he goes, he was not, he said, I did not do anything to make him scared, the most scared ever. You know what I mean? And Punk kind of said that like laughing. And that just shows you he wasn't lying. That don't look like a liar.
Yeah.
You showing the video was almost like you confirming what Punk said. It was almost like, here's a video showing you that Punk was right.
Right. It just shows, like, honestly, it shows, and I'm going to say this, it shows like, hey, somebody was shoplifting. Look, they're shoplifting. Ha, 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 ha. That's what it looked like. It's like, okay, but AEW 2 didn't show the lunging part or any part of it, but I think that's pretty much, if that is the lunging part, Tony Khan looks like a bitch. He looks like a scared little bitch. But I will say this, Tony Khan did tap this guy on the neck. Flat out. He did kind of slap him on the neck a little bit. Look at the hand when he does it. But, yeah, tonight, honestly, and I'm going to be real with you guys tonight, another thing that me and Pesci were laughing at, and I don't know about you guys here, Monet, what the fuck was that all about during an interview?
I got something to say about that, definitely.
Like, why did you blacken the screen for her to fall on the ground and sound like she's making whale noises or porn noises? Like, what was that all about?
Here's my thing with Monet. How the heck, if we're not going to have her wrestle, Tony, how is she not there tonight? Why is her appearance a goddamn vignette that she got to record? You're supposed to take advantage of her being under contract. She's going to WWE, Tony. She's already halfway out. I don't know how many years you got her, if it's 3 years. That time will fly. You need to start having her come out. Get a pop. Get the audience into it.
Yeah.
You got her doing vignettes.
Especially,
I don't know. They got to figure it
if
out.
they want her to re-sign with the company. They got to put her in some prominent shit to keep her around, or she'll just walk back to WWE. She already said she was, but if Tony Khan does her right, and books her right, she could possibly stay with the company. That could be your, she could stay all around and do a lot for you. But if you keep doing these things, I don't think she's staying around. She won't stay around. That's unfortunate. Tony Khan said,
what the hell happened tonight? What was she doing? She was sitting in a vignette, right?
Having an interview with Renice talking about double or nothing. Double or nothing. And saying she's going to have her very first match with the next title belt owner.
And Julia attacked her, right?
Yeah, that's what it was, yeah.
Now, Tony, that's cool and all, but I thought we were trying to show that Monet's big business. How is big business getting attacked and laying on your floor or whatever that shit was? That's big business? That looks like no business. If fucking what's-her-name's already taken care of her.
Yeah.
Don't look at BC's score.
Let's see.
Bastard Wise Dog said, if I couldn't take a bump from Tony Khan, I would reconsider my career choice.
Let's see. Tony Khan said Punk come to his office and yelled at etc. This was earlier after. Well, it doesn't matter. It does not matter to me because at this point, Tony Khan looks like a fucking clown. He looks like a clown bitch. It looked like somebody that got divorced and looks like he's upset.
Tony, thank you. Because I always was thinking, man, what did Punk do to make Tony say that was the most afraid ever? I wanted to see this. I'm glad we got to see it. I'm glad.
And
That is one element of, I guess, like old school wrestling that they should appreciate, though, is that CM Punk would scare a person that much. You know, the believability. You know that.
Sure.
my thing is, I would have kept Punk in my company anyway. Like, this is where me and Pesci both agree on. You need a pit bull in the room that under a gorilla, like a Scott D'Amore, that would have been like, Tony, I'll handle this. Hold on. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to lay these two out real quick. Or I'm going to break them up real quick.
When he attacked, here's the part I missed. In the video, when he attacked, what's his name? What did Samoa Joe do?
Samoa Joe started acting like, oh my God, something's happening. And he went over and he broke it up ever so slightly. That's it. He didn't choke him out or anything. Like, he just broke it up. He didn't put anybody in anything as they said originally in the reports. It was nothing like that. So the reports we all reported 6 to 8 months ago are all bullshit now at this point, because you had dirt sheet writers writing that this was bigger than meets the eye. And that was not the
Gonzo
case.
says Joe saved Perry.
Yeah, Joe saved Perry, though. Joe went over and reasoned with Punk, though. That's what it looked like.
I don't think anyone was in fear of, like, right, someone saved somebody. You know, it wasn't shit that was going to go to, like, where someone physically gets hurt, or you know, like, seriously hurt.
Right. It just looks like, you know, out of all this tonight, it ruined a lot of things that were, you're 11 days out from, you got your go home show next week, right? For Dynasty, you got a big pay-per-view happening. You got Swerve Strickland, and I agree with somebody else.
Oh, shit.
What was that?
Oh, sorry.
You got,
my bad.
Oh, you're good. We got Swerve Strickland, right? Becoming your first African-American champion, right? Let's just cut it a buck here, right? You just made his whole thing look stupid tonight. You made him look stupid.
He is going to be, he will be the first African-American world champion AEW. Yeah, it makes sense, yeah.
Yes, but I'm saying is tonight, his whole thing, he wants to be serious. He wants this to be serious. You just ruined everything he was trying to do tonight. That like, everything trumped everything for a fact tonight with that whole thing about CM Punk. It did.
The Young Bucks delegitimized, if that's a word, you know, delegitimized.
Yes, it is.
But,
you're right.
but they did that. So, you know, when anything that happened on the show tonight, you know, was you can't take that taste out of your mouth. You know, you can't.
And everybody's clowning on AEW right now. Everybody and their mother. And I'm guaranteeing Punk's going to have a field day with this on promos or taking pup shots at this. I guarantee it. Because this is what Punk does.
May. Or he might just take the high road and just not even say shit because he looks like the winner right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can imagine him. He should tweet right now. Told you. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all. Told you.
We'll also tell you tonight, there was other matches tonight. We had the infantry, we had Shane Taylor promotion with Chris Jericho and Hook, and I'm going to tell you this. I didn't understand that either. You're building up Hook. You just made Hook look stupid.
Gonzo says Bucks knew they were losing control and did something drastic.
I don't know. It just looked like tonight. It just looked tonight. Anything that AEW did tonight looked stupid. Like, for instance,
what did the Young Bucks say again before they showed the footage? What did they say?
It's pretty much all FTR's fault. They mastermind the whole entire thing with Punk. What went down. And they're going to show them at Dynasty who the real tag teams are, and we're going to get our revenge back at you for what went down and everything that screwed us for our moment, basically.
What do you think the odds are of Jack Perry showing up at Dynasty? Any chance?
Well, I think now they got to bring him in. They showed him now. They showed him for the first time on AEW television. And the way Tony Khan is basically talking about all this, He's basically calling Jack Perry a character in all this. That he's
Hey,
still
the
under
four
contract.
pillars of the AEW hasn't really standed up too much. Those pillars all fell down pretty much.
And he's pretty
Darby's
much calling.
is kind of standing a little bit.
He's calling Jack Perry technically.
Don't look
Let's
at
see.
BC's score.
Big letters. Hey Rev, there. What the fuck? What the fuck is AEW doing? They have They have the talent, the look. It looks like Jack Perry's showing up at the pay-per-view. We're saying that. I mean,
Good, and I hope he joins the elite.
Yeah, it's not gonna sell no tickets, so who gives a fuck? You know?
It's not going to sell more tickets, McCormick. But right now, Jack Perry's coming across as kind of a big heel, so you might as well bring him and put him with the Young Bucks so people could boo him.
yes, they got to do something. They got to do something at
Might
this
as
point.
well,
At this
because
point,
everybody hates Jack Perry now for the CM Punk thing. So maybe they could cash in with that some way.
right
It's
now
not going to sell a lot of
AEW.
tickets.
Right now
It's just going to make
AEW.
it a little bit more interesting than what it is.
Right now, AEW needs a shot in the arm right now. Bringing him in would be the best for business at the moment. Yes, I know he's going to get seriously booed, but they need something right now. And right now, his scapegoat shit and joining the Elite would be perfect in a suit. The Elite will look really, really bad, and they could play this off for a while. They could turn this around and turn it into their favor if they wanted to.
And they got Okada, so it'd be Okada, Jungle Boy, which he only likes calling Jack Perry now. And I guess JR is the one that told him should do that.
And the whole thing is AEW right now needs a shot in the arm. They're going to lose viewers out of this, trust me. They're going to lose some people out of it. And right now with AEW, and I've said this to Pashley, I've told this to everybody here, AEW's just got to worry about being a solid number two, with good wrestling and some storylines. Tony Khan right now just needs to stop all this fucking divorce. Like he looks like a scorned ex-wife that got scorned, and he looks like he's salty that he regrets getting rid of Punk. Well, that's your own
I wonder if he
fault.
was crying when that video was being played.
I'm assuming.
He started crying, scared as fuck again. Because that didn't look like fear.
No.
Like that fucking Undertaker and there was like an Undertaker backstage brawl, like a real one. That shit probably looked the way could have scared a motherfucker.
And here's the thing though. All AEW needs to do to fix their shit, and I've said this all along, like we both said this, just be a solid number two. Book matches that are good. You don't have to be WWE-esque. People will come if you have good stories, build up the right talent, and do the right things. That's all you gotta do. But Tony Khan can't keep his foot out of his mouth. That's the problem. He is the problem. And it's been stated by many of us now at this point. He is burying his own self. And he's going to be the detriment to his own company. He's going to be the detriment. He's not seeing it right now, but he will be if he continues doing what he's doing. He has good opportunities right now. He can make a feel-good moment right now for Swerve Strickland. And he fucked that up tonight. Hardcore. Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah, they're worried about CM Punk, and the focus should be on, you're right, Swerve, technically.
Yes, and Dustin Rhodes, what you should have had done, you should have played in on the Rhodes shit and had Rhodes win.
Dustin Rhodes was that's too good.
They should have played into the Cody Rhodes shit and let Dustin win tonight for the hell of it. Right?
What a hell of a week for the Rhodes family.
I mean, Dustin honestly got his ass beat, and I'm sitting here going, why didn't you just have him win? Give him something so you guys can buy into the Rhodes thing that's going on. But no, they won't, because AEW, they feel scorned by fucking Cody himself. So of course they're gonna make, Dustin Rhodes as the slogan, as Jack Perry says, the scapegoat. So there you go. But yeah, and what the fuck was up with Will Ospreay tonight, man? Like, I just felt Will Ospreay didn't take his own shit serious when he was talking about it. Did you see him smile when he was talking about, like, he didn't even believe his own shit? I don't know if you guys picked up on that. Did you see him smiling and laughing that he didn't even take his own promo serious? Like, didn't even
And
believe.
Tony, you're overpaying all these wrestlers to just sit around. Like tonight, Will Ospreay cut a promo on Triple H. That's what you got him doing? 1 month in?
That's TNA
You're
syndrome,
paying
though, as
him
well.
out
You know,
the curtains. You give these guys these contracts to where they can work like 2 weeks and then they can sit down. You're losing your shit, bro. How is Will Ospreay not in an angle or in a promo there? Not a promo on Triple H. Was he in studio? Where was he tonight?
He was out on the ramp tonight, and he has a feud going on with Danielson. They did not further the feud at all with Danielson at all.
Further the feud. We're talking millions of dollars. Okada, I guess, was the only highlight that at least he was in a match tonight.
Well, they got the feud started with him and Pac. He accepted, finally. About time. It took him long enough to get
Yeah,
to that point.
I accept. Yeah, that was probably the highlight of your night.
Yeah.
When it comes to furthering your show.
I would call this show, like, if I had to review this show, we're reviewing it, but if I had to say this, it's a C+ show. This was C+. If the thing went right and they did it the right way, I would have given it a higher grade. But they didn't. They fucked up. They botched what they were trying to do. It proved Eric Bischoff right. It proved Conrad right. It proved fucking Jim Cornette right. That's the unfortunate part here.
If you're grading here, I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna do it like this. If you're grading Tony Khan, C- because he looks like an idiot. For me, I'm gonna give the show a C+, like you said, because I wanted to see the video. So I'm glad we got to see the video. I'm even gonna give the show B- because I wanted to see the video. That's really the truth. But if you were grading Tony Khan on booking and showing that video, definitely a C-, flirting with a D.
Yeah? Yeah, wrong.
Because the point of that video was supposed to show us, even if there was proof that CM Punk made Tony Khan scared for his life in that video, we probably still wouldn't hate Punk. That's what's the reality of wrestling. We probably would have been like, holy shit, that was awesome.
Punk fans and Buck fans are going to be... It's like the political shit, you know? They're not going to criticize the other, you know, it's... They've already picked their brand, you know.
Well, by the way, young Buck fans tonight all turned on the Bucks tonight on Twitter, on X. Everybody was basically saying the Bucks look stupid, Khan looks stupid, anybody in the building looks stupid.
Well, FTR, and I can't believe FTR, I was shocked about this. They came out immediately cutting a promo on how dumb they were for showing that.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I was like, wow.
And you know what's funny? Leading up to all this footage, none of the people knew that they were doing this until the last second in the 10th hour. So let me get this understanding, Tony Khan. So that interview came out and you were so ass hurt about things that we already knew. You show us things that we already knew. You just reconfirmed what we already knew. And you were that scorn over it. So to me, to you just took an L. And you just made CM Punk's fan base just go, well, there's a reason why he left AEW. Here's the reason. Your owner's stupid. You just made him look like that, honestly, seriously.
I almost want to watch that footage again.
Let me read this from Smooth Panda. I saw
I
on
want to
social
see
media.
what Samoa was during it.
WWE Tribalists are laughing at the Young Bucks and TK. Yeah, I'm laughing at Young Bucks and TK right now. TK and the Young Bucks look like idiots. Both sides look like idiots. They basically proved everything to do with CM Punk right tonight. Every wrestling fan is saying that. Honestly, I am. Because it just shows. Tony Khan seems like a salty individual. He was mad over the CM Punk podcast that took place with Wani, on the MMA Hour, and this is their response to it. And their punch missed, unfortunately. And instead of building up, and I'm sorry for going on this rant real quick, but it fucks Swerve Strickland. Strickland's about to make fucking history for you. And you're going to soil it in a matter of 2 weeks. You know what I mean? This man is carrying your company as the top heel, and you're fucking it up. Dustin Rhodes, you could have done so much better tonight. And you could have
Exactly.
played in on the hype of what's going on, and you didn't. You have Okada coming out. Seriously, you have fucking Okada coming out. No offense. You have Okada coming out that you signed him for buku money. He didn't even say a word. He just pointed his title at Pac and said, "I accept your challenge."
And I'm looking at the Mercedes thing as a whole month. She's been there a month.
Yeah.
What are we doing, Tony? This is a lot of money. Think about this. The Rock came out. It only took him a couple SmackDowns to change the whole landscape of goddamn WrestleMania. That's taking advantage of your stars. Monet hasn't shook shit. What the hell was that tonight? You're going to let her get beat up by Julia already? That don't make no sense. She's supposed to be big business. That don't look like big business.
You know who
She
made
shoulda had guards.
you know who made that look bad, right? You know who it made it look bad, right? For Dynasty, you already played your hand. If you're beating up Monet already, Willow Nightingale's losing. You just gave it to us right then and there. Julia's more worried about Monet. And Julia's going to beat Willow Nightingale, and that's going to be that. And then we're going to be off to Double or Nothing. They just played their hands in front of you.
Also, they did nothing that had like any momentum, like no storyline building, no momentum. A thing I always think of when I see interviews
No
like that.
momentum, you're right. Spot on.
You remember that like Mick Foley, the interview with Jim Ross, where it's him sitting there, and it's like one of those like one-on-one interviews. And I think that's the best you can get out of an interview like that. You know where they go back and forth, and like Mick Foley, he goes through all his childhood trials and tribulations. You know, he builds this character. Like, not to say Monet's gonna be like some like freak show like Mick Foley, but I think she could have built herself being like, "Oh, I'm that bitch. You know, I'm the fucking, you know, like I'm high class. I'm a big deal." But she didn't make herself seem like a big deal. You know, it was
Also, Icon, how do you feel what we're talking about? How do you feel speaking?
I feel like honestly, I know that it's just a lot like of mix-ups, and it's just really I don't know, like after what Tony Khan did with like the video, it kind of felt like a D plus kind of plan, and I just feel like it's not much of a good storyline. Probably out of
Let me read
like this,
let me read the comments real quick. Sorry, Icon. Go ahead, finish
Sure
what you're
thing.
saying. My bad. Go ahead.
but I feel like if I was Tony Khan, like might bring Jack Perry with like the Young Bucks might work if you know if basically he might help out to distract like the champions from obviously the title if possible, or vice versa. But I don't know, after tonight, so I might have to give it a C out of all the confusion though.
Got you. Let me read the comments here. Smooth Panda from my chat says, TK is trying to build Mercedes Monet in a way that Triple H is building up Jay Cargill. And Josh says,
Dude,
basically,
that's not even.
Go ahead, Pesci.
I'm saying like the Monet thing. You haven't done shit with her, bro. I'm even shocked. I thought Monet be coming out weekly. She'd be getting big pops. There'd be signs. There'd be chants. You maybe have her get him some, confrontations with some of the other wrestlers. Not ever get fucking beat up from behind by Julia on a tape vignette.
like a limo entrance or
On
something.
the
I
same
feel like
night
it'd
where
be
you're going to have Ospreay cut a Triple H promo, not even in the building.
No, it was in the building.
Or somewhere in the building.
Yeah, no, it was on the ramp in front of the crowd.
Oh, it was? Okay. Still, it didn't go.
I get where you're coming from, Smooth. I get where you're coming from. But again, Monet doesn't need to be treated like Jade Cargill. Monet's bigger than Jade Cargill. Let's be real. She was number 2 on WWE's women's roster at one point with Charlotte Flair. How do you bring somebody in that's a Scottie Pippen-esque and have her do these vignettes and look so weak? It's not even funny. She is looking kind of weak. And honestly, what is she doing to be in the title picture for the TBS championship? She's just pointing at the belt saying, I'm getting that. And I want that. But she's done nothing to build her repertoire to get there. Are we doing this after Dynasty? Is she finally going to get in the ring? And here's my problem with something with that. Is Tony Khan going to do the famous Tony Khan strat where he does the whole jobber versus Monet? Jobber versus Monet here. Jobber versus Monet next minute. No, I do not want to see that.
He's not even at least giving her one kind of quick match or something, kind of like what Edge had.
No.
It's misusing. It's like Edge went against Penta tonight. Edge must just be back there going, hey, Tony, just put me against anybody. I want to go against Penta.
Yeah.
Next week, I want to go against Luther. And then you can put me against goddamn Dalton Castle and the boys. Oh, wait, they're gone.
No, Pesci's right, though. Like, Monet should be doing like a squash match or something, like have her come on.
Head-to-head. She should be whooping Julia or
get
a hit on somebody or getting in
somebody's a minute and a half match. Her come out.
Or maybe Monet. Or here's the thing: maybe Monet, when she signed, maybe wasn't ready. Maybe her ankle's still fucked up. You never know. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's what medical people have said, and maybe we're downplaying what's going on. Maybe I'm looking at the other side of it.
Then you gotta hold back her debut because you can't waste her.
Right.
You can't water her down to where.
Or she has to work a better character. I mean, it's just
Well, I get the CEO gimmick because I when you listen to the lyrics of the song, she said you can hear. She kept it very secretive what her injury was. She had an Achilles injury behind the leg. So that's a 9-month injury. Kobe Bryant had 2 of them. So, again, I get it, but why debut her so soon? So that tells me Tony Khan's more worried. He's more worried. So when
she was in Japan, did she get hurt right away to where she didn't really wrestle many Japan matches?
Okay, so she wrestled 4 matches leading up to her and Willow Nightingale. When Willow Nightingale did what she did, she pulled her Achilles.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what happened.
That was a quick stint.
I get what you're saying, in regards to what she would be doing. But some wrestling matches in order to build her up for... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. My thing is, I get why Tony Khan brought her into AEW so quickly because he was afraid if he didn't pull the trigger with money, WWE, he would have lost her to WWE. So I get why he did what he did. But at the same moment, come up front and say that. Or better yet, say Monet is still hurt. We signed her early. She's going to be maybe at the commentary booth, maybe doing some heelish stuff. There's many ways you could have handled that. Like what they're doing with CM Punk. CM Punk's hurt, but they're still having him on the commentary booth. They're having him do little hokey pokey things.
They're paying him enough that he better be out there.
Yeah, that's what I feel about Monet. But yeah, honestly, tonight, AEW, like this, and I know some of you are going to say, oh, AEW is doing the best they got. Well, yes, they could have played this off. They could have laughed all of this. They could have took pub shots. They could have done anything else, but instead they had to show up footage. Some of you feel AEW is doing the best. Let's go. Big W for Dynamite. I mean, I'm not going to go that far tonight. I feel AEW personally took an L tonight, and they made CM Punk look really good. And this should have been done months ago. I agree with everybody on YouTube. This should have been done months ago. Way. They had 8 months to do this. They could have done this while he was getting fired. They could have went, hey, you guys want to see footage? Here's the whole thing. Tony Khan could have came out. You're booing me, but here's the real truth. Here it is. This is why this man, I felt, in my opinion, and why we made the decision we did. Here, roll the tape. They could have done a Monday Night Raw, Stone Cold Steve Austin, off the truck type shit, and they didn't. They failed. They missed the mark. And that's why we're criticizing them. I told you guys this in all reviews. We're going to tell you like it is when AEW does something great, we'll praise it for sure. We will fucking praise it. When WWE, when they do bad, we're going to shit on it. Of course. We're reviewers. This is what we do. We're analysts. We do this shit. You know, we're wrestling fans. We're diehard wrestling fans. When WWE does great things, we're going to praise them. When they do fucked up things, we're going to say about it. Trust me. Do you think I'm having fun talking about AEW being a shit company right now currently? No. I want them to succeed. I want them to do well because it makes wrestling great. But at the end of the day, they did 3 weeks of great shows, right? And all of a sudden now they're falling off of a truck. And it's taking a nosedive. Like a plane coming down.
This is supposed to be their best shows. You just got Ospreay, Okada, Mercedes Moné, and this was the show we got tonight. A very obvious C show.
Yep.
The best thing that was on your show was that everybody got to see how really dumb you are, Tony.
Yeah, I'd really love to hear
got to see the
what
video.
their expected outcome was, from this. Like what they thought was going to be the.
Yeah, that would be a great question. And that was never answered. I think Tony, I would have to say ratings if you want to be honest, but they would never probably say that.
I want to hear Tony Khan's mindset on it. I'm fascinated to know what was your
exactly.
mindset behind it. Why did you want to air this now? What stopped you 8 months ago to now? Why? Oh wait, because he'll probably tell you, which it looks to be, he was salty over a podcast. He probably
I didn't even see CM Punk lunge at Khan. Where was the lunge?
The lunge was supposed to be after the fact, but it was supposed to be after the fact when they were having a meeting after the fact. They're not showing you the whole thing.
Comical as fuck. Him just lunging at Tony like, you son of a bitch.
CM Punk, Josh is saying, CM Punk is probably sitting back and laughing right now. Yeah, he is. He doesn't need to say a thing. He could probably get a meme out and say, I told you so. A meme. I told you so. Get some shitty meme on and just put it up on his X and his Instagram saying, I told you so. I was right. He could say, I was right. I told you so. And smile. This man doesn't need to do anything at this point. He played Tony Khan. He played the Young Bucks hard. That's not a joke. He played both. He played all sides. He's right now the troll at heart. He's rubbing his hands right now, just laughing. WWE probably head people are probably laughing their ass off. Triple H is probably laughing his ass off right now. Like it's.
Well, if CM Punk had like the motivation and like saying all this, like he already knew ahead of time, which I guarantee is not true, But talk about wrestler of the fucking year, If he worked all these people, like the right way, but like it's way too much. It couldn't happen that way, Like,
By the way, I want to make this clear in my review. We're not AEW haters. Trust me, we're not. We're not trying to hate on AEW. We're just disappointed on the facts of like we come to watch this stuff because they claim they're the alternative. And they're about
my favorite
wrestling.
part is when you had a WWE guy, Edge, make your rah-rah speech last week to get the troops all together to make AEW look like a good company. You had a WWE guy do the speaking. You can't even get your own crew together. Your pillars are all knocked down. NJF is hurt. Sammy Guevaro's suspended. Darby's nowhere to be found. It's like, what? That shit's dead. And Jack Perry's in Japan with a small chance of revival if you bring him back now. And
if Jeff Jarrett had enough money, at one point TNA probably could have been on TBS.
Let me read some comments. AEW was rising after Revolution over the past few weeks, and now it needs their shit together before Dynasty moving forward. Yeah, I agree with you. You and me, Smooth, have both said the same thing. I just want people to understand. We're just wrestling fans that are upset over, we want AEW to be, a really solid show. And we were expecting more when it came to this security footage. We were expecting them to joke around and play around. We were expecting something completely different. And they just proved these haters right. You know, do you know what I mean? They're proving WWE right. They're proving CM Punk right. And they're proving all these people that are critical about AEW right.
I
And-
thought it was going to be juicier.
Yeah, I was
Same.
expecting
Yeah.
more.
Maybe that's why I'm a little bit jacked up because I'm thinking I would have saw CM Punk grab like a goddamn cord of a camera and put it around Tony's neck or some fucking crazy shit.
And by the way, I'm the guy that gets called
Yeah,
an
Lindsay.
AEW. I'm the guy that gets
We're
called.
doing our review on the show right now.
And I'm the motherfucker that gets called yeah, I was playing Overwatch. Let me make sure I change
Yeah,
that.
so Lindsay, they showed the footage. The footage did not make CM Punk look bad at all. It actually just looked like a normal fight that would take place in the back of a wrestling thing. And it makes Tony Khan look irresponsible. Like, it doesn't make CM Punk look bad at all.
Or
in my
even
opinion.
a small fight at like any other like venue you can think of. I mean, it wasn't enough where I'd say it was like you're at a bar where it's like, oh, like someone batteried somebody. It wasn't like that. I mean, it was like people got into an altercation. You know, it was a
Yeah.
Thanks for that, buddy.
like
I
a
appreciate
bars.
that.
At
So the
bars, I've
footage-
seen worse
The
than
footage
that.
was great
you know?
that we got to see it, but now we know Tony Khan doesn't know what he's doing.
And by the way, I want to say something in this review. All of you are saying the same thing we are. It's not a negative review. It's us being passionate wrestling fans. And, you know, we call out the shit we see. You know what I mean? If WWE did a bad show on Friday, you don't think I'm not going to call out that shit? It's a shit show. You know what I mean? You know, we call it the way we see it. Like, you know what I mean? And there's a reason why WWE is selling out arenas. There's reasons why booking is good over there right now. All AEW's got to clean up a few things and just get on the right path. That's it. Solid number 2. I don't need them to be number 1. Number 2.
Yeah, they're not the same. It was,
Yeah, just do good wrestling matches. Have a good story around it. Like Dustin Rhodes tonight could have been so much better. Instead of having him bleed, it just felt to me like Tony Khan just told everybody, hey, by the way, do this. We're just going to do this. The footage is going to be like, we're just going to have an off week this week, guys. Yep. All right, cool. All right, writers, just boop. We're going to do boop. And that's the way it's going to go. And it's like, us fans could see right through that shit. No offense. We could see right through it. It didn't take a rocket scientist that Will Ospreay sitting on the ramp, right? Doing an interview, right? With Tony Schiavone, right? I think it was Tony or Renee, one of them.
Good
And
to see you on the fence.
and you guys got to see, and you get to see Will Ospreay. He's not even taking his own shit serious. What he's saying about fucking Triple H.
Yeah.
He's
He said
laughing
Triple
the whole
H
time.
got his spot because he was banging the daughters of the owner. No shit. But it's the job he did after he got the job that will make him a legend. It's not like he.
I mean,
did the
AEW
job
is a
while
company
fucking
because
the daughter.
What do you think of the Will Ospreay promo tonight? I just thought it was silly. You sent the guy out there when he's supposed to go against Danielson, right? And go out there, right? And here's my thing to you guys.
It's all right, sweetheart.
Here's my whole thing.
I was tired.
Here's the whole thing with that, right? You have Danielson, right? And Will Ospreay. You have a really good feud with that, but you have Will Ospreay come out and shit all over WWE. I mean, that's not it, Chief. It should have been more about Danielson.
Shit on them. It was like, it would have been like saying, oh, Chris Benoit's a bad person. It was like, it was just, they were stating the obvious.
Right.
Like, okay. Yeah, he did get that shit. Okay. Did Triple H ever say he didn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he definitely earned his positioning as he was working under Vince.
I mean, Tony Khan, dude, guy would not be in a position at all if he wasn't born rich. I mean, like
NXT, when you talk to the Johnny Garganos of NXT, all those guys, they gave Hunter the props. A lot of them, the Ciampas, the Nakamura's, the Kevin Owenses that went through NXT. Hunter gets a lot of credit. People aren't going to just give fake credit.
And by the way, AEW had 4 days to figure this shit out, right? They dropped this at a middle of 12:30 at night on West Coast time, which is 3:30 Eastern time, which they shouldn't even had a collision, to be honest with you. Icon and I watched it. And I pointed to Icon like, oh, they're going to show out the all-out footage, what happened. Or the all-in. I'm like, holy shit. They had 4 days to figure that shit out. It was like they could have done a whole spectacle to this. And they didn't. I would rather them, honestly, and this is me personally, I don't know how you guys feel about all this. I wish they would have just shown it off on YouTube, honestly. During the day. Oh, here's what really happened. Boom. And just get right to the show. Because it's not going to make the show any better.
They got to pull the rating.
Triple H said the same
to just
thing.
Wake up this morning and have them turn it on. But dude, they got to do the rating.
So let's read the comment here from Smooth. Smooth says, Triple H said that the same thing on Pat McAfee's show we've been talking about, and that is more storytelling to keep fans interested and locked in. When it comes to Will Ospreay saying that, I don't know about that, man. I'm not really locked in. I want Will Ospreay to talk about Danielson personally, not talk about your constituent company.
Yeah, come on, man. I thought this, and that's big money too.
Yeah, that
big money Ospreay, big money Mercedes Moné, Okada. I mean, dude, you're not really doing Tony. It's like everyone, you just are a company of everyone's just standing around. Standing around, people come out and wrestle and do good matches, but nothing's getting hot. Nothing's getting, this is good. Unless you bring up Punk, who's not even around, who's long gone. He's about to have a fucking fight with Drew soon that's going to go epic. You know what I mean? They're going to be putting on fucking promos that you can't on your show.
And by the way, I agree with our other constituents out there. You had zero momentum going into fucking after Collision. You should have built this up like, oh my God, they didn't. And then Tony Khan's on fucking Sports Illustrated saying, I'm upset and this is what we do and this and that. You know what I mean? So to me, it just seems like somebody was throwing a tantrum over shit. And it just seems like to me, Tony Khan just looks like the scorned, divorced XE.
I hope the fans get behind FTR too for this.
Yeah, I really do. I hope FTR. Yeah, FTR deserves to win the titles now. FTR deserves something. Bucks.
Tony, you run a joke street.
If the Young Bucks win, I'm going to tell you guys this now, and I'm going to make a wild... That crowd at Dynasty in St. Louis will probably start throwing shit in the ring. Bottles, anything they can find. Because the Young Bucks should not be winning the titles at this point. Yes, I understand that they are, EVPs, and I understand their heel work's been kind of decent, but this just soiled everything they've been working on. This just makes the Elite look salty. And I can't wait for Kenny Omega to come back now. I just want Kenny Omega back because that's probably going to be the greatest thing for AEW to do.
I want Omega to be back, but I don't want him to be his soft side, man. I want him to be that, like kind of a heelish, cleaner Omega, the smart-ass Omega.
Right.
I don't want him to be this, like, soft-talking, I just want him to be kind of like the Kenny Omega that you once loved in Tokyo.
Dream match at one point, I thought a serious Kenny Omega versus serious CM Punk was going to be a great pay-per-view,
And if they don't do shit with Omega, it's time for him to go to WWE for real.
Oh, he extended his contract. There's no way of that now. He can be there for a while. And two, they're going to probably tack on because Tony Khan is a fucking... Tony Khan likes tacking on his time. He's going to tack on time to Kenny Omega for all this.
And like I said the other day, Matt Hardy was great friends with the Young Bucks. For him to be leaving that company, that tells you a shitload. People won't admit it. Meltzer will come up with another story or something, but they were friends. Hardys and the Young Bucks, they've been friends on the indie scenes. They were friends. For Matt Hardy to want to leave AEW, that tells you a lot, especially when they offered him a contract.
I'm going to
There's not
say
a
this
doubt in my
now. I'm going to
mind.
say this throughout. I'm probably going to be called an AEW fanboy now because I did this video today, or this review, and I shit on AEW. And by the way, I'm not shitting on AEW. I'm just being very harsh
Well,
because...
they wouldn't call you a fanboy if you were shitting on them.
Well, oh, yeah, they would. Uh-huh. I've been called an AEW... When I give WWE shit, I get called an AEW apologist. And then the vice versa.
Okay.
So this is what happens usually. Usually when I do these AEW shows, you get the pro AEW crowd that anything AEW does is white gold, liquid gold, and everything that AEW is liquid gold. No matter what Tony Khan does, there's people out there that are gonna say Tony Khan's the best promoter and booker. There you're gonna have those people though, and I saw that on X already.
That's sick though.
Yeah.
Those people really need
Same with
somebody to
CM Punk.
talk to them.
Yeah, yeah.
Tony Khan is not the best promoter. Proof's in the pudding there.
After tonight, it sets up for the tag team tournament finale at Dynasty to be very interesting. Yeah. Yes, and I would like to see, here's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see Jack Perry come out and join the Elite and call himself the Elite scapegoat. And come out and try to fuck over, or FTR wins the belt, Jack Perry comes out, beats the shit out of both of them. And comes out and handshakes fucking both of them and comes out and does something bad. That's what you need to do with him. You need him to be so hated so bad. I just don't understand.
Well, at least that would make sense of tonight.
Yeah, to me, I wish he was out there tonight. It would have made the show a little bit of a better rating. I would have been, oh, the bitch is out there. Okay, he's gonna do something. Oh, he hit a couple chair shots on the FTR, and then he's announcing he's part of the Elite. So he's got the scapegoat wristband on one arm, and he's got the Elite on the other. And then he has a shirt that says, fuck Tony Khan, or Tony Khan's my bitch, or something. It would have been funny. I would have been, oh, okay. Jack Perry is anti-establishment. Okay. All right.
He's definitely doing New Japan on Friday, though, so I don't know if that would kind of conflict with the dates or anything.
Well, we're going to see Jack Perry somewhere in this. There's no doubt about it at this point. They've talked about him now. They've now showed off footage of him now. There's no other way. They got to have him on television at this point. And you're like, you got your go-home show next week? You got to do something at this point to have him in. There's no way. You got to pencil him in somewhere. I think he's going to show up at Dynasty at the end.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but yeah, you got to use... I wasn't a great Jungle Boy fan, and I'm not saying it's going to sell tickets, but you got to use them.
Now you got to use them. There's no other choice. Tony Khan can sit here and claim that he's under contract, but now you put up or shut up. You got to write for him now. He's now involved in this, however you like it or you don't. They pigeonholed themselves with this.
Because tonight makes no sense if they don't bring him back at all.
Right,
Yeah.
Okay, at least JP agrees. Okay. I'm glad you're there, McCormick, on that.
How do you feel, Icon?
I just feel like I have to agree with JD here, honestly, on that. It's just, I want to see the, Kong with, Perry and the Young Bucks rivalry a little bit, but, I just think that that might be a better stir up from there.
I agree with that. Here's another thing what I don't understand. Why is Tony Khan not coming out? Or somebody from Tony Khan's office. Why do they don't have a general manager? I don't understand that. Why are the Bucks doing this? You just made the Bucks look like fools. Here's the thing. You made the Bucks look like fools for doing this now.
I love that. I love it, though.
Where's the general manager?
Because you got to ask yourself this question. Did you want to see the video? Yes, I did. That's where this show stands. But AEW didn't win shit. We all did. The fans won tonight in a way to where we know what of a joke Tony Khan is capable of being, how shit's being ran, what they did to Swerve. We learned a lot tonight that we already unfortunately knew.
Here, I'll do the dance for you. I'll do the Prince Donna dance for you, okay? I'm just playing.
And the
I love Prince
triple,
Nana.
and they have Osprey out of all people, your fresh guy, your fucking potential face of the company, cutting a Triple H obvious promo? When Triple H, what the hell is he even doing to AEW?
Yeah.
He ain't even bringing you guys up, and if you are, who cares? Don't have Osprey do it. Have some stooge do it.
Can I tell you
Yeah.
guys something? I appreciate that, Smooth, man. Hell yeah. I appreciate you, homie. I will say this. The wrestling community has spoken. You know that, right? Everybody and their mother's coming out on X, right? And they're shitting all over AEW. And they deserve it. Not gonna lie, they deserve what they're getting right now. When you play the circus character, Tony Khan's playing a circus act right now. You deserve to get what you're getting. When you do stupid shit, you're gonna get stupid consequences, and this is what's happening. Everybody I'm looking at other reviews as I'm doing a review, and I see in their chats, everybody is shitting on it. It hurts Swerve Strickland. It hurts Dynasty, the pay-per-view. This didn't need to happen. Why are we still going in reverse? You had 4 weeks.
Why are we still going in reverse? Yeah.
And 4 weeks, everybody's saying like you had good shows for 4 weeks, and now here we are. You went into Revolution killing it, and then here you are now digressing by the day. Your viewer counts are bleeding. Somebody just said in somebody else's chat I'm reading in another stream somewhere saying you could have turned this into something totally else and had crowd coming back. Now crowds are going to start leaving. You're going to be down to TNA levels of numbers, and that's sad. You know, your fans are going to speak. Your fans are going to speak real quick. They're bleeding, and right now they didn't put salt on the wound. What they did was they cut themselves open again and reopened
Well,
it.
let me ask you this: are they going to correct? Did they correct 900,000 in viewers? You think?
No,
If you were to guess,
no.
I'm gonna say they pull 875. That's my guess.
I'm going to say
On some crazy shit, they get 875.
I'm going to say 800,000. I don't think they got any further. I think they got back to their original numbers because last week they were at 700,000. They lost 100,000. So I think they're going to gain.
Well, I think it was 750, but they went under 700,000 at a point in the show.
By the way, stream, fun fact, so you guys know this. If you watch it on DVR or cloud DVR or cloud streaming, you're not being counted, by the way. Fun fact.
That's what I'm saying. And
That was what I was going to ask,
I
Rob.
just say in AEW's defense, they got a lot more people watching than we know because a lot of their people watch it like we do. Zuzz, internet, blah, blah, blah. A lot of people don't have cable, especially their fans.
Now, fun fact, if you guys didn't know this, and this is about TV views. So they're counting the TV viewers, the people that have satellite and cable still, not people like Pesci and I that cut the cord and went to a streaming service because it's much more convenient. I don't need a satellite dish on my house. Who needs one in 2024 when you have really fast internet? But the only company that I know that's doing count for the nationwide stuff is Hulu TV. They make you select a checkbox for you count as a view. So streaming TV is a whole different ball game when it comes to, so like that national title women's game, they said it's the most viewed on television, but not all the views are being counted for that. So you got to count the DVR views. So this is probably, I'm going to say 100,000, but probably Pesci is going to be right.
Playing goalie.
So there's no internet count for like internet. I guess there's no way to probably do it.
Not properly, no.
Okay.
Unfortunately. So we don't know the YouTube TV views because YouTube doesn't show that. And I didn't know streaming TV is different when it comes to nationwide views. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I wonder if they do get credit for YouTube TV. That's a good question.
Now here's the thing. Peacock showed their views. So WrestleMania, fun fact, WrestleMania had the biggest viewing audience in America in history on Peacock. So they do count those when they do.
But is that live or is that just
that was live? That was live on Peacock. Okay. So Peacock counted the views. They said it was a huge number of people that watched WrestleMania. They said it was buku, like Super Bowl number bad. Good.
Right.
So
Yeah, they had a lot of people watching.
that's why the NFL's doing what they're doing at the beginning of the season. Why a couple of games are going to be exclusively on Peacock, because they know they're going to get that ratings pop for it. But I will say this: would you like to see the footage from Brawl? Sure, yeah, sure. Because I don't think it's that bad.
I wanted to see Tony Khan feared for his life. Now that I saw that, I'm like, what the hell? That was the least thing I thought was going to happen. I thought that dude had an alligator with him or something crazy.
I mean, I figured Tony Khan got put in the headlock. He didn't even get put in the headlock. So
Yeah. What the fuck? None of that.
I told you guys in our Raw review. I said here on my channel on the Raw review with Pesci, I said, I like dumpster fires. I want to see drama. I want to see bullshit. You know, I always do, because that sells me.
that's part of wrestling. I mean,
I like reality TV. I like Jackass, so I want to see the shit happen, you know? Let's see here. Let me read what everybody said. WrestleMania 40, two-night event at Lincoln Financial Field, viewed for 1.3 billion minutes over the weekend between April 6th and the 7th. Jesus. Sad Story says, I like to put WrestleMania sponsor over here, Beer Nose Pizza. All right. Hell yeah. No, and I want to say this too. Like, for instance, the thing that I'm not trying to compare the two companies, but right now, WWE is your NFL, and there's nothing that's touching it right now. And AEW, Tony Khan should just concede at this point. He's too prideful. Way too prideful.
Oh,
What happened?
somebody, well, I doubt that's true. Somebody said breaking news: Tony Khan suffered a heart attack backstage at AEW and fell to the ground. CM Punk opened champagne as soon as he knew the.
Oh man. Oh shit.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Oh my god. So, if you guys didn't know, today they Emmanuel and a lot of other people announced this. They bought out the share. So in wrestling news today, it is officially end of a Vince McMahon era. I didn't want to say his name out loud, but it is now.
He has 4% of shares left.
Yeah.
He still has some. He's not sold out, but he's only got 4%.
They said on reports they sold out. They bought all of his
really?
shares. Every bit of it. So he's no longer with the company, supposedly. But you're saying 4%, so okay, so
They said he sold everything, but he has what he has left is 4%.
oh, okay.
Well, yeah, it's definitely not enough to have very much influence.
Not enough to tell Triple H to fucking get, you know.
So that's in the news for you guys today. That was the big news today, and I think it was TKO somewhere on Twitter or somewhere said we're issuing the new era finally. Let's see. Can you see Joe losing the title at Dynasty or retaining? I see Joe losing it. Why not? You've belt Swerve Strickland for a year, and you kind of just spit in his face tonight. He should have had another moment tonight building up to his title match. You should have gave him what he did to Joe the other night, where he was bleeding and he signed it in contract. He should have been able to like put Joe to sleep or something with the chains. You know what I mean? And then end with, you know, him holding the belt. The way they did it just fell flat. It was everybody was so worried about the footage that it made him look irrelevant. You know, so and Dustin Rhodes looked irrelevant. And they could have done it so much better. You know what I mean? They could have saved Samoa Joe, could have hit him with the title. It could have been a thrown out match. And then, you know, when you do have Swerve Strickland win, right? Dustin Rhodes could turn around and go, well, I didn't really, my match was fucked anyway because you interfered. You owe me one. You know what I mean? They could have done things.
McCormick, you think it was done on purpose that Tony Khan put Cody Rhodes' brother in the main event for the title?
Night, definitely, yeah. I mean,
Of course they did.
I just think that if you're going to do that, have it make some kind of sense. All of a sudden, you got all those wrestlers backstage, but Dustin Rhodes was available for a title shot?
Yeah.
I'm just shocked about that.
I don't
I
think
thought they had a
it
ranking
seems like
system.
they don't really think for the future. It's very in the moment, spur of the moment.
See, honestly, if it was me,
There's no longevity thought. It's very which I think no. I mean I think
he's not
WWE.
wrong with that. You're right about that, JP.
I mean WWE maybe not recently, but like in the past, I always thought like they at least had a little foreshadowing. This it's kind of like they're like booking on like the women of their seats. Like just seeing what like.
All right, Punch a hole. Try to stop in tomorrow, brother. I figured you were taking pills. Shout out to Puncho. We were watching AEW talking about it right now. Good to see you, brother. Miss you.
What's up, Punch?
What's up, Punch?
JP was asking about you.
I will also say this, they should have capitalized better on the whole Cody. If they're doing the Rhodes thing, it should have been more of a hype show, where you had him.
Yeah.
They protected him. They didn't protect him. They had him bleed. And I was like, the minute they bled, I was like, oh, they're going to do some hokey pokey shit with him. Oh, wow, really? They're going to have him lose. Oh, wow. In a cheating fashion. I'm like, that's so dumb. Why not have Strickland come out, beat the shit out of him, and, back and forth. Let's see. WrestleMania 40, this is coming from Josh. WrestleMania 40 broke the previous attendance record, setting by WrestleMania 39 by 78% with 145,298 people filling the Lincoln Financial Field over 2 nights. Yeah, they equal 200 and something, and then they said they added Raw and
Tomorrow's
SmackDown.
Thursday. Oh, your Friday's tomorrow. All right, brother.
So, and by the way, you got to understand this. Do you know how much Raw popped this week? You ready for that? You ready for the viewership on that? 5 million. Raw pulled a 5 million.
Are you serious?
No, that's not a joke.
Holy shit.
Raw had the best ratings ever. Yeah.
Oh, what's like the normal for?
Like 1.8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They've been struggling to get 2 million. SmackDown's been averaging 2+. Now, obviously, The Rock's been back, so they probably had a few shows over 2 million with The Rock.
3 million. I take that back. It wasn't 5. Somebody reported 5.
Okay.
It's actually real numbers. It was 3 million. In the
Yeah,
key,
'cause
in the key demographic of 18 through 49, I wanted to make sure I correct myself. On Twitter, they said
5 million's
5.
fucking 1995 number.
Yeah, I mean, up against the national championship game too.
It actually okay. So here's a fun fact. It actually beat the national title game. Actually.
Oh, I think the last couple of years they haven't done that in the last.
Yeah, they beat the Final Four. They said journeying the says right here, Sami Zayn and Chad Gable were defeated Imperium. Sami Zayn offered Gable a title shot of his Intercontinental title while Drew was screwed over Punk again. As Jey Uso won the Final Four match, became #1 contender for Priest's title. And they're showing the key demographics like WWE, like at the back half of WWE Hour 3, they were kicking the shit out of the Final Four altogether. They registered a 41% gain in audience on their go-home show for Raw. And then also their night after Raw, they went up by 51%. Yikes. That tells you something in wrestling. Yeeks. Those are some buku numbers.
Well, also, I think the Final Four is one of those like things where it's like you still got that elderly element.
Is Dan Helsing ever coming back?
He's on Ring of Honor.
Okay.
Yeah, he was on Ring of Honor television.
Bad job out of them. He should be on AEW Dynamite.
I agree with you. 100%.
He had my favorite picture.
Wrestling. I like his character. I like the skits he's in. I'm not saying I want this guy to be your world champion. I want him to
he had
be
my
your
favorite
R3.
picture at one of those wrestling signings. It was him and the Nation of Domination.
So they rounded off with a round number. So when the Rock and Cody promo happened, it was 3 million. And then throughout the night, they kept between 2.5 to 2.7 million people. They said this is the highest numbers. And then on multi-different networks, they're saying
3 million was the Rock segment, pretty much.
yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
So in comparison of last year's Raw against the NCAA Championship, was in the third hour they drew the game did 3.88 demo rating across multiple networks and 14.82 million viewers last year. This year, in key demographics, they were just slaughtering the Final Four altogether on television. So that tells you people are all about this new era, man. That just shows you when you put on good wrestling shows, people are going to show up.
Well, in the Final Four wasn't close at all, though. It was like, I think.
I'm curious how much Raw will drop as soon as The Rock is gone, which is pretty much now.
Can I tell you this on WrestleMania Night 40 Night 2? Can I just tell you I felt more as a fan when Bayley, when they were chanting her name and they were doing the fucking wave? I have not seen that in wrestling in forever and a day. A whole crowd going around and doing the wave, like the Angels and the outfield wave, and the whole crowd just doing it as Bayley was like overcoming things. And I was like, wow, people are really into it. And lately that's what WWE's done. And that's credible. AEW tonight, they got to start getting back to that because they used to have that. Year 1 and year 2, they were doing great things. Year 3, 4, they've kind of tailed off. Now year 5, they're really tailing off hard. And I really hope for them they can keep their audience.
Did you happen to catch what the stands look like? How the stands look?
It looked like they had a full crowd on TV. They had like a full crowd on TV.
Okay.
But yeah.
I mean, they're in West Virginia, so I'm assuming it was a. I assume it was a college basketball arena. I mean, it was a.
Rev Sauce, you still there?
Go ahead, take over for a second, guys. I need to take care of something.
Understood.
Oh, okay. Well, pretty much. Other than the Samoa Joe, the Mercedes Moné, I think we touched on almost every part of it. Unless there was something I missed. It really felt like a very kind of forgettable show.
Agreed.
Yeah, shout out to Pacho. Reverend Robbins only made it to about 10 o'clock, but he didn't like it. The women's match was kind of boring tonight. And like I said, you want more from Monet and Ospreay. The Edge match, I guess, was good, but it didn't make no sense to me. Why are we just having Edge wrestle a bunch of guys to wrestle these guys? No stories, no.
Him and Chris Jericho, they do the same thing.
Oh yeah, Jericho's in that Hook match. That Hook match was silly. Arguing with Hook just to start a little rift with them. That's silly stuff. And Jericho's starting to get watered down, and it's unfortunate because his AEW run was pretty decent. And now you could just see him grasping for straws, dressing up as his lion tamer when he was in Japan gimmick, early WCW even.
I mean, he's trying to pad his retirement. You know, I'm sure he doesn't have much time left here.
And he's probably wants to get a Sting retirement. And I won't be shocked. You know, because they're gonna want to give. And what's funny is, I guess they blamed FTR for this. I wonder if that's the work of it. Because why would the video just have Punk and what's his name in it, but FTR was involved? I don't get that.
I think in mind they probably had something. They just they didn't execute it right. Like they didn't explain it to the crowd. You know,
Wait on,
like
Casey.
I'll put it this way: it's because they're basically putting two and two together. If you put two and two together, it's pretty much
This
he's
is
a
my
punk
last
guy.
one, BC.
He's a punk guy. That's why they're punk friends. That's why. If you really want to go
didn't
there.
they? Supposedly, like the rumor mill, like didn't they come out after something? Like after one of these recent Punk things,
Yeah,
and be like,
they did. They came out.
This guy doesn't back the company. He didn't, you know. Yeah.
It was basically they came out after Collision when they taped it. You know, because Tony Khan, full of shit, he said it was supposed to be live, and he made it out to be live, and it was pre-taped. So, you know, at the end of the, I'll tell you guys this, is like, why are you having Punk and why are you having Adam Copeland come out, right? And why do you have both of these big groups, right, come out? It just seems coerced. It seems like scripted. You know what I mean? Very scripted. And not too much like, you know what I mean? It just seems like, are you really with the company or are you just doing this because you're getting a large payday from Tony Khan? You're being forced to say that. You know what I mean? And that's how it came out. That's the way everybody else has been saying about the Adam Copeland promo and now FTR after the fact. But I legitimately think, Adam Copeland, said this is the last of his career and this is not the way to go out like Chief. So, I see why they're doing what they're doing. Why?
Tony's going to probably try to give Adam Copeland, Christian, and Jericho the end of their careers like Sting and call them the best exits ever. And he's eventually going to make an AEW Hall of Fame. I think the old lore is you got to make it 10 years as a wrestling company and then you can make a Hall of Fame. Or they said that's when it's adequable. But, Tony Khan will probably make it earlier than that. And he'll have to put all WWE guys in there. Cody. Eventually Wardlow will be a fucking WWE guy. And
Wait a minute, didn't Edge go in like a year or two after he like?
Yeah.
So AEW let all these guys work with their neck injuries, right? That's why they
Yeah.
Well, I will also tell you this. Somebody else just said this on another show, and I will say this to you guys straight up. And I agree with this segment. WWE can take pub shots all day long because they're WWE. They're making their money. They're making their bread the way they need to make it. Where other, I just don't understand why, I just don't, what I don't get is why AEW is taking it so hard. Like, it's like, damn, throw back, do great shows. You know what I mean? You guys could fire back easily by doing great shows. You don't need to buy into what Triple H, Pat McAfee, and these people are all saying about your company. Throw back. Give them a reason to have you on their shows. You know what I mean? Don't, Tony Khan should be going around and trying to, build his show up to be number 2 and be on the Pat McAfees and the things like that of the world. But he does the backwards shit, which makes no sense. And he should be on television.
Yeah, I mean, they said they had so much initial investment.
Right. And here's my thing.
No other like
Shout
up
out
and coming
RSL.
wrestling company would be on TNT or TBS.
Well, here's my thing. Here's my thing. why don't we have Tony Khan out every week if he's going to pull these kind of shit and throw tantrums, right? And he's throwing tantrums all the time. Why don't you have your man come out, right? Have your man come out and basically cut promos like Vince McMahon used to. You know what I mean? You know, if
Yeah.
you guys are gonna do that, why don't you do the whole? If you want to play this off as your guys are a competition, why don't you play off on your competition? You know,
You want out?
I just don't get that. That's the thing I loved about the Attitude Era and WCWs. They used to call each other out all the time. I just don't know why Tony Khan plays it so safe and acts so hokey pokey about what he does. It's true though. It's
No, I
like
agree.
it's like, dude, come out and say something. Like, honestly, we
Yeah.
wouldn't care if you come out, like, if you acted like a nerd and you came out and went, "Hurr," we wouldn't care. At least you're cutting a promo.
If you go to a live event, he comes out like that afterwards. He comes out like you'd think he's all coked up and shit. Like, oh, hello, everybody.
They think he's on drugs half the time.
He's on coffee. That's I had a friend like that, and that was constantly coffee. Like, they would drink
They
5 or
probably-
7
they
of them.
probably have some. I bet you some doctor subscribes him something.
Oh, he got Adderall or
Yeah,
something like that,
but
you
something
know.
probably a little bit more medically stable than Adderall, like something like even better.
Yeah, there's no competition at this point, but what I could say is,
I mean, this is a goddamn billionaire.
Oh, he's rich
has
enough. He
access to the real
could be
drugs,
getting good
man.
coke. I mean,
like, let me tell you this one. They can make competition happen. AEW could. If they want to start drawing ratings, this is where WWE's winning. They can literally start taking pub shots of their own. They could do better. They could copy storylines from WWE like WCW used to. And there were some things that WCW for a while there was doing great. And, you know, and same with, you know, for a while there, you know, people were tuning in for a while there to TNA for a minute there. Back in the early days of TNA when they had good matches and shit like that. For a minute there, they were getting the views. I think AEW tonight just showed why WWE is the better brand at the moment. But you never know. Tony Khan could turn this around. He's got good, you know, surprisingly, he's got a lot of minds. I don't know why, like, Rocky Romero or fucking Jerry Lynn or fucking Dustin Rose is not pulling him off to the side and going, hey, dude, what the fuck, what was this all about? Like, dude, you fucked up. Like, you know what I mean? But as Pesci was saying, he's got a bunch of yes men. That's what that is. It's a bunch of yes men.
I haven't imagined most of those guys are like just collecting a paycheck. You know.
Yeah. That's
I used to
don't
follow
think
Rocky
Tony Khan
Romero
does
pretty
cocaine
heavily.
because I think it would have came out by now that he does coke. Unless all the wrestlers are like, fuck it, we're not going to give that up. We want to take his money.
But honestly,
FTR was right, though. FTR's promo made the most sense tonight.
Yep.
It was a C show, like you said.
it's like your arena looks great. Your setup looks great. But you guys could be doing so much more than what you're doing. Where was the House of Black tonight?
Remember their collision. They're never on fucking.
Well, I know that, but I'm
Dynamite.
just saying, like, they could have continued a storyline with Adam Copeland there. When they had Copeland there, they could have beat him up some more. They had
Sure,
Julia there.
I agree. I agree they should have been on Dynamite years ago, but Tony, I think, is set on the fact that A, I'm not firing them, and B, they're on their way back to the WWE.
Let's take a look real quick. Gotta see.
Yeah, I always thought the Saturday show was kind of like the CM Punk, like where it was like, oh, it's his guys, and then like the other show was
And my thing is, where's Ricky Starks? I guess they're pretty
They
set
did
on
have
him going to WWE.
they did have the House of Black here. Yeah, they did. I think they did tonight. The lights went out. Julia Hart and Brody King showed up. Yeah, they were in the ring. Yeah, House of Black was here tonight. Yeah. They showed up. Brody King was in the ring with Julia. I saw what I saw. Yeah, they were both there. But where's the guy that's going after your fucking TNT belt, jackass? Where's Malachi Black?
Good game, BC.
He's a wanted man. Like, what is Brody King doing? Like, he's not going after the TNT belt. You fucking, like...
Yeah.
Where's Malachi?
He's
Malachi should have showed up tonight. Like, you had the other two there. No Buddy Murphy either. I was surprised. Buddy Murphy's not, like, I wanted Brody King to come up on the mic and say, hey, here's a message from our leader.
Brody King's actually an interesting guy. You've completely slowed him down.
Yep.
If even if you knew the House of Black was going back to WWE, use him, Tony, because you're paying him. Vince would.
Yeah.
I hate to bring up Vince, but he would have.
Yeah, he would have. Let's see.
He's gonna get some playback on the investment. Make some money on these guys that are on their way out the door. But no, Tony, he's a goddamn toy box.
Here's the question: is CM Punk innocent? No, but at the end of the day, you just made him look really good. AEW just made him look like a hero.
I've never thought of
Wrestling
CM
fans,
Punk being
we don't
innocent.
Care if a
You know,
wrestler beats up another wrestler. We're not gonna feel bad.
No.
Why would we?
CM Punk is
Wrestling
obviously
people
an
beat up
asshole.
each other.
You know,
This is wrestling fans. You might want to go show that to like Jack Perry's fucking, I don't know, his niece or some shit. But don't go show it to us. We want to see motherfuckers get beat up.
And let me be real with you. This just shows AEW does not have a Pitbull as a leader. This is where you see AAA. It's the men between boys. Nobody talks about Tony Khan. Tony Khan has all these people, right? He has all these people, a larger than life company, right? With billions of dollars of his own money. And there's no leadership at all. You just brought in Peppermint. You brought in this other dude. And you had Rocky Romero sign. It just feels like a glorified, to me, it feels like a glorified, just a yes man committee. Everybody's chasing Tony Khan.
I assume the Rocky Romero part was like to like bring in more like New Japan stuff, but they haven't really done that much, you know.
Well, okay, so Rocky Romero was brought in for storyline shit, to do storylines and get them venues. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is a sign for you guys. Rocky Romero was on Twitter denying this. But there's a report going around that the Forbidden Door pay-per-view may be put into a small arena in comparison to putting it at Grand Slam Stadium, the tennis stadium, because they said possibly they can't fill it. They can't fill it.
No.
They can't fill it. So that should tell you everything you need to know right now where AEW is heading.
And the last I knew of him, he was like the American like New Japan booker for like a.
Oh, no, the other reason why they're not doing it at the stadium because New Japan doesn't want to front up the cost. That was the other reason. New Japan didn't want to front up the cost, and Rocky Romero came out on Twitter and said, no, I'm denying this. This is not true. So they're supposed to have 2 back-to-back tennis stadium arena full people back-to-back. I think like Grand Slam, and they're supposed to do the what's the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. I guess they're going to be doing that as a special show now, as a stadium show. And I'm like, you guys shouldn't even be doing it as a stadium show because right now you can't even fill people into an arena at the moment. That's the truth. Then they honestly, and welcome to the review, Averaging. Welcome to the review.
WCW 2000.
What did you think tonight?
WCW 2000 is trending on X right now. And people are saying that AEW is now officially worse than the WCW in the year 2000. Did you see CM Punk's Instagram story post?
No.
Sauce?
No. Let us know.
Do you remember the speech that George Bush gave on that aircraft carrier at the end of the Iraq War, and he had that giant banner hanging on the top?
I remember this
as a kid. Mission accomplished. Well, he just posted that picture of George Bush with thumbs up.
Wow.
Mission accomplished. I mean, yeah.
Well, he's getting his flowers because they just basically did what they did. They shot themselves in the foot tonight. We're not the only ones saying it. Like all the reviews since doing this review show tonight with Pesci and all of y'all, you've all said the same thing. Everybody in the
JD?
breaking
what
news:
did
Tony
JD
Khan
said?
suffers a heart attack backstage at AEW and fell to the ground when CM Punk heard the news. He immediately opened up champagne to celebrate. That is some ice shit. That's not true, but that's some savage shit.
I'll have to go listen. I'll have to go listen to JD from New York's opening monologue.
Well, he's
I'm
going to
sure-
bury this.
He
is
already
not-
is.
is
I'm
he not-
watching it as we're
is
talking.
he- I was like, is he live yet?
Yeah, he's live. He's been burying it all night. So have we.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to watch him. I watch him tomorrow morning when I wake up. That's usually my breakfast. Shit, I'll listen.
And by the way, and I want to say this on this show of mine and Pesci's. I've also been called an AEW apologist, but and I've been called an AEW fanboy. But let me tell you something. I'm a wrestling fan, and I'll call out the bullshit when I see it. And AEW right now is on some other shit. I don't know. I have no idea tonight.
You hear that, Tony Khan?
What
the
the
marks
fuck?
the marks that bought your video game don't like your shit anymore, Tony.
Yeah, well, yeah, I knew you were gonna go there on me on with that one. I won't deny you that one. I'll give you that. I will just put it this way: when it comes to Tony Khan, I want to know what was said before this show and after the show. Hey, FTR, just go out there and look like stupid idiots. Just go out there, cut the best promo of your world. We'll justify it.
And FTR didn't like it either. It was like this. I
No.
mean, they were shitting on Tony without having to shit on him.
And Will Ospreay sitting there the whole entire time as Triple H, he's cutting a Triple H
The
promo
Will
type shit.
Ospreay thing, I'm baffled because you're paying this man all this money, and these are the skits you're using him in. This guy is supposed to be your face. Your next MJF,
Who's that?
Will Ospreay.
Ospreay.
Oh yeah.
Also, Triple H isn't even an active wrestler. You know?
Can I say
he
something
can't
here?
wrestle 'cause
Averaging
his
down
face
is
failure.
actually correct about Monet. Me and him have both said the same thing about Monet. Yes, I knew that she was going to sign, but it's proving everything Triple H said about her.
And they didn't do shit with Monet yet. She's been there a month.
And
That's embarrassing, Tony.
some of you are
You should
saying
go
it's
take
like a
a
Jake
shit right
Cargill
now.
thing that they're doing, and I'm like, yeah, no, it's
I
like.
know that fucking gorilla room smells like shit right now.
So let me read this comment here from Josh. WWE is living rent-free in Tony Khan's head, and he is embarrassing the entire company because of this. This was a post on X. Yeah. Tony Khan tomorrow, I guarantee everybody's going to take him to the task of going, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, that's what everybody's saying tonight. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Oh shit, there's
What up,
Fatal.
Fatal?
Oh, what up, fellas?
What's up, bud?
Not much. Chilling. How are y'all?
Just
Yo,
doing,
what's up,
just doing a wrestling.
Talking
review at
about the
moment.
Tony Khan shit tonight.
We're doing better
Oh,
than Tony
shit.
Khan is tonight. I'll tell you that.
I have not been watching that. I have not been watching AEW. Well, I didn't watch it tonight.
He aired the backstage CCTV footage of the fight between CM Punk and Jack Perry at Wembley Stadium.
Oh fuck! Why would he do that?
He did
Well,
anyway.
listen,
He did
well,
that
listen,
in
remember how he
reaction
said
to
he was,
Punk.
he was
That's
more
why.
scared? Remember how he said he was more scared than he's ever been?
He
It
feared
looked
for
like
his
nothing
life.
happened. It
He
looked like
feared
a
for his
normal
life.
fight.
Oh shit! So now Tony Khan's looking like a fucking liar.
Yeah.
Oh, he looks like a
Dude,
fucking
there's no way
bitch.
it's like
dude.
going-
He just looks like a phony.
So,
you know what? To quote
So
the
now
late great,
he's
to quote the
basically
late
looking. He's looking like you let CM Punk go for nothing.
Yes.
Exactly.
Exactly.
To quote the late great Dennis Green, Tony Khan is who we thought he was.
JD from
And
New York
now-
said that. That's what Revsauce said. That he said, that's why you fired your number one draw.
So let me
you
read
that
this
tweet,
real quick
yeah.
from my chat here. Renice
It looked like a
Burkett.
normal
Post-
fight between two wrestlers, Fatal, like that would happen at any wrestling promotion.
Literally.
Right. Any kind of like little backstage brawl type deal.
Yeah. It
Oh,
wasn't
and
even
by
a
the
brawl.
way-
It wasn't even a
we were like,
brawl.
holy shit, this is unbelievable.
Bro,
Logan Paul.
when Jericho put Goldberg in a front face lock, it literally lasted longer. It only lasted like 3 seconds, and Joe separated him.
Okay.
Also, Joe,
So,
my shit was buffering. Joe did separate.
Yeah, Joe and,
Fatal.
who's that other guy?
So Tony Khan's in the back with the camera, or in the back where the monitors are, right? He's
Oh no,
patting.
hold on. Hey, Rev Sauce, I saw something on X people did notice that arm reach out that you were talking about.
Yeah, he was patting him on the back, and no
Well, but
wonder
here's
why.
the thing. Here's the thing. People are saying that that's not Tony Khan. People are saying Tony Khan wasn't even sitting down there.
Yeah, that's
was
it.
li-
It
he
was
was
a
lying.
suit. It was a suit. He was in Gorilla. He
People are saying
tapped.
that that's a female. That's a female's arm that reached out.
No.
That's what people on X are saying.
So you could see clearly it looked like.
People on X are also smoking crack, so
And they
So,
should pass me
you
some.
see-
Clearly.
So I'll say from the footage, I rewinded it back 4 times now. I have it on my DVR and on my DirecTV stream. I was looking at that. You could see the curly hair like Tony Khan, and you could see him tapping the back of Tony. I'm like, dude. And then he starts going over and lunging, and I'm like, you kind of deserve that when you're in a fight. You don't fuck with somebody that's in a fight mode, in pissed fucked off mode. Like, you're gonna get your
not
ass
unless
beat.
not unless you're expecting to get caught in the crossfire.
Yeah, I'm like, you don't go tap somebody on the neck. That person's gonna
Nope.
think right off the rip that you're trying to fuck with them.
Uh-huh.
And then you see him. They cut it off because they edited it. You could see him going around the corner of the desk, and then like doing the head nod, like, what are you gonna do? And then
Yeah.
walks off. And I'm like, Jack Perry started it. Probably told him to fuck off, do something about it, and he did. He threw a punch. That's just the way it goes. You don't piss somebody
That's
off
true.
hard enough like that.
That's true.
And he was already
Well,
in a fucked off mood.
Little off topic though, but I want to get y'all while you still kind of raring about wrestling. I wasn't here over the weekend. What'd y'all think about WrestleMania? Are y'all with everybody else with it being like the best WrestleMania of all time?
Oh,
Not of all
bad.
time. It's
Not of
not
all
best of all
time.
time for me, but it was good.
X7 was definitely better.
This was probably one of the better
Of the
WrestleManias
recent
we've
era,
had-
it was one of the best ones.
that we've had in probably a decade.
Okay, so Fatal, you ready for mine?
Yeah, I love the Undertaker shit.
Yeah, I did too.
So if you're going new,
Oh, I hate the Undertaker shit.
so they called it New Era, right? So I can't. So they're calling it a New Era, right? So this is the very first one. Of course, they could say that. I'm not
Well,
gonna
they're
stack.
calling it-
I'm not gonna stack
They're
any.
calling it they're not calling it a new era. They're calling it the Paul Levesque era because of
Yeah.
WrestleMania being such an overwhelming success, not just with ticket sales and productivity but on top of it, social media has
Right.
been nothing but a buzz ever since WrestleMania.
Since they called it a New Era,
That
I
last
didn't.
match of night 2, had just about everybody in fucking the whole world in tears.
I'll be honest, I won't call it the greatest, but I will say it is up there. But I didn't stack them up to every single WrestleMania out there because they did call
Yeah.
it a new era. So I took it as, let's talk about it in 10 years from now, moment. That's what
Yeah.
I said. Let's talk about it in 10 years when Paul Levesque has a big window of WrestleManias that he's done in 10 years. And then let's have that conversation to stack up and see. But he did the right thing with Cody, though.
I mean,
But to me,
WrestleMania
if-
17 was definitely a better show.
If you ask me personally, that one wasn't my favorite, or I would put it among the best, but it's in my top 5. My number 1 WrestleMania was Triple H versus Undertaker 2.
Sure.
Ooh, okay.
You got a
Yeah,
lot of people
WrestleMania
like
30?
that.
Wasn't that the one I was at? Wasn't that WrestleMania 30?
I don't know if it was 30 or 31 or
Hell in a
29
Cell?
even, but yeah, it was Triple H versus the Undertaker the second time in a row. Because you got to remember, Triple H challenged the Undertaker the first one, and then Undertaker challenged Triple H the second one.
Right.
Shout out to WWE for doing minimalistic arenas. Triple H going back to in your house kind of type deals.
People didn't
No,
really
that
like that
was good.
stage.
I like
That was
it.
good. Well, also, like, we got to think with Raw, too. Like, they had too many fans. They couldn't even bring in a Titantron. He even said that.
And I also want to say shout out to The Rock for deviating. And Barkley was right. I'm going to give him his W and his flowers. You were right. The Rock was the
Right.
one to call a deviation on the whole Cody Rhodes and the title and all the shit. Because Rock did say behind the curtain that they had this locked in. It was going to be Roman and Rock for 6 months. They had it booked already. Triple H writing.
Uh-huh.
And then The Rock said he was the one that called Nick Khan to get the okay because fans were turning, and Nick Khan granted it, and that's why we have what we have today. So The Rock's
Yep.
not an evil villain as everybody has made him out to be.
Is Cody gonna
No,
get a
he
new
brought
belt?
more eyes to the product.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I was feeling at the beginning of it. I was like, this makes me hate The Rock, but on a heel level as a fan. I hate The Rock because, okay, he's trying to throw some shade or whatever, but it's all a shoot for me.
Yep.
It's all him just trying to get more eyes on the product, get more of the Hollywood
Yeah.
eyes on the product, and therefore, I mean, it made
Also, a good nostalgic, a good nostalgic crowd.
some hell
People that
good.
wouldn't watch wrestling, and they're like, "Oh, I remember a Rock when I was watching wrestling. I'm gonna tune into this."
I'm gonna make a wild
Raw-
prediction. I'm gonna make a wild
Raw
prediction
has
next
been
week.
sold out for 12 weeks.
Yes, they
12
have.
weeks. The past 12 whole weeks, they have been sold out.
They have.
They had to create more seats for Monday night because they didn't have enough for as many tickets as they sold.
I have that game, Pesci. That one right there, Battlegrounds, is not bad. I have that game for.
You said it was pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just it's an arcade. It's like take NFL Street for wrestling.
Yeah.
So if you want to kind of compare and just say if Triple H is running a better era so far, yeah, he's off to a hell of a start. But
Yeah.
now we got to see if he can continue
He
it.
did the same thing at NXT though. It's not nothing new for
Yeah,
him.
it's nothing new for Triple H. No, he's a fucking brilliant guy.
Now he doesn't have the weight of Vince McMahon on his ass.
Exactly, and you could see that on his face when he came out
That's
on
an
Raw
elephant off
Monday.
his back for sure.
When he kind of stopped there at the ramp and he just took a look around, he was like, "Yep, I did this. This was
shit.
me. This wasn't my dad. This wasn't my father-in-law. This wasn't my wife. This was me. I did this."
Of course, and also another thing too, you got to think about it in this aspect, like in this way, they're gonna do more. I really believe this year, and this is my personal opinion with WWE. I think we're gonna see an introduction of the Intercontinental Women's Belt, and I have a funny feeling they're gonna get rid of those tag team belts for the women. Get rid of them.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
And I
'Cause they're
can't
already
believe who
testing.
told me it. And I can't remember who told me this, but I think it was Pesci, I think, actually. But, when I was going on my whole thing about fucking Triple H bringing back Cody to fucking just to kick him in the ass and whatever, I think it was somebody in here that told me that it wasn't like that Triple H probably really does believe in him. And it kind of showed.
Well, The Rock said it on the unveil of the curtain behind WrestleMania. He said it today that they had magic, and when they were sitting, when CM Punk went down, they deviated, and this was their deviation. And this was back in, they said, January of this year. They went to the task.
Rock was able to make Roman Reigns look like a side
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Well,
Well, when
You
you're
forgot all about Roman Reigns when The Rock and Cody were going.
when you're in there
That's
with
true.
The Rock, it's hard to overshadow him.
well, you
you
gotta
know?
when you
think,
look
you
at
gotta
the-
think about it this way, and I don't mean to interrupt, but as I was
you're good.
saying at WrestleMania, right? What did you guys? I would say this: it was kind of an end of an era of the Vince McMahon era when you had Roman Reigns lose. I went, oh,
Yeah.
this is them handing the baton to Cody as a Triple H guy. Here we are. This is
Right.
Triple H's pick now. This is who's leading your future. But then I went, okay, does Roman Reigns really need to have a title to be great? To show you that he's great? No.
But now the booking of the loss of Roman Reigns looked really good, and you got to thank Triple H for that too.
Yep.
The booking, when you look at it from the outside in, Roman losing, he doesn't look like he really got beat.
Hello, Beth.
It looks like the odds didn't go in his favor this time. He had all the chips stacked, he had everything he wanted, but he still just couldn't come up.
Let's see. Trick.
I just wish they did it in a different way. Like I wish he did like the gauntlet of like
Hold on, Josh.
Samoan
I'll read your
guys.
comment here in a sec.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But that's
John-
kind of how it went too.
Josh,
Because
did
each appearance and interruption or whatever happened one at a time as a domino effect. First, you had Jimmy Uso. Then you had Jay come interrupt him, spear him off the stage into a table. And then you had fucking John Cena come out, or Solo. You had Solo come out, and everybody thought it was over. That spear and the Samoan spike, everybody thought it was over right there. Cody kicked
I
out,
love
John
when
Cena comes
came
out.
out.
Yeah.
Trick Williams
fucking
winning the
place
title at
erupted.
Spring Break? No, I do not. I do not. Glam, thank you for that, homie. Josh, I do not have Trick Williams winning the title here. I have Elias still holding it, and the reason why Trick Williams is bigger than NXT at the moment. Me and Icon were both saying that hardcore. He is way bigger than NXT. He needs to be up on the main roster. The crowd is eating him alive.
Trick
I
Williams.
can't
is
wait
on
till
his way to the main
50,000
roster.
people are screaming, "Whoop that Trick."
It's just too good, and I could see him right now if they wanted to, right off the rip, if they wanted to, since he's so piping hot. I could see him right now against Logan Paul.
L.A. Knight, yeah.
LA Knight needs to be in that title world heavyweight title side of things with Priest. I'm just saying. He's too
You
good.
think Jacob Fatu is going to go to NXT or
Oh yeah,
straight to
Jacob
the
Fatu to WWE. That's huge if that sticks.
Yes,
Hey,
that
he
is
signed a
confirmed.
contract.
That is very
That-
confirmed
that's
now.
that's AEW. Get ready for another bloodline run. You jokesters.
Well, no, Jacob Fatu going to WWE means Solo still has a fucking job. Because honestly, with Roman gone, Paul Heyman gone, what are their plans with Solo? Because
That's
Solo's
my
still a
question.
great
Yeah, what are they
fucking
doing with
fighter.
Solo?
Triple H
Because they've
said
done
Roman
nothing.
ain't gone though.
That's why I wish they would have built it at
Triple H.
WrestleMania. Like,
He's
that's,
not
ending
gone,
of WrestleMania
but-
should have focused on that.
I guarantee we don't
Not
see
bringing
Roman
Undertaker, not bringing
anytime-
Cena.
anytime before SummerSlam.
And the reason why they didn't have Logan Paul, and I said this right in front of Icon, the reason they didn't Logan Paul, where are they doing the next SummerSlam at, and where is his hometown at? They got to
So
have
you
him
guys
walk
don't
in.
think we'll see Roman Reigns this Friday on SmackDown?
I don't think so.
No,
No.
I don't think you're going to see him for a while. I think you're going to see him
I
in
don't
the
think
next
you're
couple
going
of
to see
weeks.
Roman or Paul. I was
Wh-
thinking maybe
where's
you'd see
SummerSlam?
Paul Heyman. I was
Cleveland.
thinking maybe you'd see Paul Heyman after the loss and everything, but
Where is it in
with Paul
Cleveland?
Heyman just getting inducted,
Yeah, it's in Cleveland. SummerSlam's in Cleveland. Yeah. Yeah, it's at Brown
Yeah, I
Stadium.
just said the
I
other
just-
day, Barkley, I went to it last time. It was in Cleveland, but it was at the Gund Arena. We went over it.
Are you gonna go?
No,
It's gonna be at a Brown Stadium.
I
Yeah.
don't want to pay that kind of money.
that's a lot of money. bro.
So here's a wild. I'm going to take a hot take here. Braun Breaker.
If I was
Coming up
going
to
with
the
a
main
couple
roster?
people, sure. Not one person.
I know that's a thing, but I love Baron Corbin and him as a tag team. I want them to win tag team belts, but I would rather have I would rather have Braun Breaker be a Paul Heyman guy.
No,
That's
I
just
might
Well,
me.
go
did,
down for the
um,
festivities.
I didn't catch that. Did Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin drop the titles to Alpha Academy?
No, they lost to
PWI.
Nathan Frazier and Axiom last night. The titles.
Oh, okay.
They replayed Stand and Deliver, and the reason they did this because they did it. The reports came out that they pivoted because because it's going so well. They want that up on the main roster now. Corbin and him having main roster titles, then NXT belts.
Yeah, exactly. If Corbin and freaking
They said the
be
chemistry
a
is too
tag
good.
team, get them on the main roster. Braun Breaker, it's time. It's time for the push.
And Corbin's doing
Yeah.
the best work of his career.
That's not saying much.
Well, Corbin, Corbin's been doing some things like a brain buster. Like I
Here's
was
the
like,
thing.
dude,
Here's the thing. I loved down on his luck. Fucking got rich again. Like I loved all that shit that he did with what was that little sidekick that he had? They
Some of
released
that
him.
was good.
They released the
was- yeah.
sidekick,
Some of
The
it was
guy got
boring. though.
fired.
but he was still pretty mediocre though.
I like about Baron Corbin is the name
sad
of his
stories
two
and Johnny
moves.
Wishbone. Calm down.
His
Seriously,
two
calm down.
finishing moves are the best names in the business. End of Days and what's the other one?
Deep
Deep
Six?
Six.
Deep Six. And they're both sweet moves. That's what
Yeah.
he's got. He's got two good moves.
He does
I'll tell you that.
now they do a deep six and he does a end of days into a spear. So he goes halfway and then Braun Breaker spears. So I could see them being Raw SmackDown Tag Team Champions off of Grayson Waller and whatchamacallit. Austin Theory. You know what's funny is
And as
John.
you can see, Dragonoff's ready, and he said he's declaring for the draft. And I like how the Mark
draft.
Alvarez, listen, Alvarez doesn't watch sports. This is how dumb him and Meltzer are. I listened to their shit today. Alvarez goes declaring for the draft, whatever that means. That's what college players do when they're ready for the bigs, you idiot.
Caitlin Clark is signed with the WWE.
He's
Yeah, guys, chillax. Chillax in the chat. Seriously, chillax. I get you're coming from PWO, but I don't know that kind of stuff, my friends. And I know you're trying to be funny, but just chillax. Chill. Just chill. I know what you guys are doing. Trust me, I get a lot of the accounts. I know. Chillax. Chill.
Whatever that means.
I know you guys are trying to be funny and shit. I get it.
Yeah.
I don't know, unless he didn't know what it meant, and that was. What else would that? I don't know what else he's
That
talking
brain-
about.
Yeah, it doesn't really
I think-
apply
I
to
think he
anything.
mean-
else.
I think he means in the sense that the WWE has already decided who's getting drafted where, and like you can't really declare for the WWE draft.
Oh yeah,
because
yeah,
it's-
yeah, yeah.
Well,
yeah,
Triple
okay.
H is
Yeah, I mean,
probably
that could
already
be
booking
right.
all of it already because he did say in the open curtain thing that he
Like,
does.
like,
book-
imagine if fucking Bolin just wakes up tomorrow and tweets, "I'm declaring for the WWE draft." You know, it's,
By the way, Josh,
He's using his eligibility.
Josh, yeah, Triple H did say they were going to allow different moves finally, and they're allowing banned words to be said now on WWE television. So banned
they're
moves
calling
and
it
things like
Professional
that.
wrestling is one of them.
yeah, they're calling it pro wrestling again.
They're
God
allowing
bless
brain
them for that.
busters. They're allowing. They said they may allow Canadian destroyers again. They're
Yeah,
allowing.
that move. Alvarez brought it up. I guess Sami Zayn did some crazy move to Gunther that I didn't even catch, and they said that was the first time he's been allowed to do that move in the WWE.
Yeah, they're saying they're
It's like
like going to allow more
It's like a brain
tombstones and
buster
things
off
like
the
that.
top rope. or
What's
something
the Seth
crazy.
Rollins curb stomp or whatever?
Yeah.
It's all viewers and subscribers embrace it. Well, that's his chat. That's not mine. Calm down with that kind of stuff about Pesci, though. You know, just calm down a little bit about it. I get where you're coming from. I get you're just fucking around. I get it. But
What
you've
is
been
he-
saying
what
it
is
over and
he-
over again.
What is he, a Samantha Irvin fan? Get him out of here.
No. Fucking Pesci's doing some Pesci is spending hundreds of his dollars to go to SummerSlam while people over here are starving, like kind of comments.
He's
I'm
got
not going to
Vap.
SummerSlam now.
He's got Vap over in his chat, bro.
Yeah.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
great.
not going to SummerSlam now.
You should see if Eric Roman wants to go. You guys should go. You should
Pesci
get some
does so
ride.
much blow or something like that, so much dope. Like Jesus.
You could definitely get the
That's
seat
that's
that you
hardcore
want,
shit.
Pesci, because you
I
said that
smoke a lot
you,
of weed. You got something to say about that?
Pesci, you said you wanted to sit at the top anyway. You
We're
could
talking about
probably get,
blow. We're talking about the white sugary shit. All right.
you could probably get
I don't
that
I
seat.
don't do that shit.
Somebody in my
I don't
chat
do
was
that
saying
shit.
that. I was like, oh shit. All right.
Pesci, that seat upstairs where you want to sit is probably less than $100, man. It's not as expensive
Probably,
as you
yeah.
think.
Probably.
Especially
But I mean, if you're
when
gonna
they're in a
if you're
football
gonna
stadium?
sit in the nosebleeds, why not sit at home and watch it on your TV? You know.
Pesci said he'd like to sit up there. He said that at WrestleMania over there. He said that's where I would sit so I could just look down on everything.
But I'm not going to SummerSlam. I think that's going to be expensive.
Some
I
people
just
were
don't
putting
know.
on earphones. People were
And you
putting
don't
on.
even know that the card's even going to be worth it yet either. I mean, if the card ends up being something huge, you might want to consider it, but you don't even know what the card's going to be yet.
So fun fact.
I'll tell you this. I'm going to go to the festivities because they do like
Yeah.
a week thing. I'll
Yeah.
go to the I'll go to the.
The
you know
fan-
what?
the fan
I take
fest.
it back. I'll go.
There'll
to
be
like,
there'll be a
this.
ton of indie wrestling around there.
Yeah.
There will be a ton of indie wrestling, a bunch of autograph signings and shit like
Yeah,
that
they'll-
you could do.
Yeah, they'll throughout the week especially if you have any Cricket Wireless stores around the Cleveland metro area. Like whenever a WWE event comes here, there's always somebody doing a signing at the local Cricket. Like Jey Uso was there last time.
It used to be
And,
Kmart's when I was a kid.
Shaman's right. Pesci can't go to SummerSlam. They won't let him smoke weed. Yeah, I ain't gonna
The
fucking-
Rock's
All
return
right,
drove
just bring
ratings up.
All you gotta do is just bring your pen, Pesci. That's how you get away with
bring
that.
your vape pen.
I
Can
guess.
I say
No,
this
not a vape-
to,
not a
to
vape
you guys
pen.
in my
Bring your-
chat?
Did you hear?
bring your
did
wax
you hear
pen.
what Pat McAfee said during the last match during WrestleMania
Yes, he
the other
did.
night? He said something about something smelled something funky in the air, and somebody was around there smoking weed in Philly. So
I thought he was talking about Snoop Dogg. when
And he
said
also
that.
said the Rock's on the juice, and then what's his
Uh-huh.
name was trying to calm him down. They muted him because he was going way too
Uh-huh.
far about the
Yep.
Rock, and I was like,
You
oh,
know
he's
why?
getting fined.
you know why? Is because Michael Cole hands him the fucking flask over there on fucking commentary and lets Pat McAfee sit there and take shots.
Yeah, he does. Yes, he does.
Because Michael Cole is 100% drunk on every commentary. He is on record being an alcoholic. He drinks for every
You're
fucking
welcome.
show.
And actually, working for Vince would have did that to you.
Also, I will say this. Here's one thing that, but if you want to sit here, one thing that Triple H is doing that AEW's doing different is you're getting young farm talent being built up to be greatness, right? Where AEW's just buying their shit. There's
Yep.
you're starting to see it. Triple H said that he's betting on the farm in comparison to AEW where they buy. They said they will buy talent here and there when it serves a need to do so. He said it himself. He doesn't need the Will Ospreys of the world. He could build that for their company. He said that.
Yeah. Tony Khan's out there buying raised cattle instead of raising his own.
Once that Drew McIntyre CM Punk feud starts, you're gonna forget all about AEW bulls.
Yeah. And they're saying that still McIntyre still hasn't signed. But I believe he has.
I think McIntyre
So-
wants that feud with Punk. You could tell he wants that.
Oh,
he wants
yeah, he
that,
does.
that
Now he wants
that,
it
you know,
definitely bad.
that
After
spotlight.
only holding that world title for a few minutes.
Hey,
Yeah.
Priest made that happen, man. Priest, hey.
I wonder.
I'm glad they
so-
did that.
You know
What
why
a
they
great
did is because he
story.
re-signed
Y'all,
with
that's
WWE.
a great story. Good call, Pesci. Like, I thought that immediately. I was like, oh my God, if Priest music hits right now, this makes for an incredible fucking story between Punk and Drew. You know, because Drew screwed Punk in the Royal Rumble by injuring him, and Punk just screwed him at WrestleMania by ruining his whole moment. His whole WrestleMania moment is now shadowed by that cash in.
Lebanon almost like pretty much guaranteed Punk's like a heel turn because like then after a Raw, didn't one of those dudes like sign their shoes and they act like they're gonna throw it into the crowd and
I wouldn't even necessarily call that a heel turn because Punk can be whatever he wants, and the crowd just cheers for him no matter what. You know, I don't really consider Punk a heel or a face because he
I
kind
think
of
you got
plays
Punk
both
fans
sides
and
of
you
the
got
fence.
not Punk fans.
I guess I guess. Well, no, because like, even Stone Cold, I don't know if there was that many like non-Stone
Hey, can
Stone Cold.
I just say this too? One thing I will say
Everybody
tonight.
loves Stone Cold.
If you were a diehard Bucks fan, I just watched on Twitter a lot of people just going, I lost respect for those people. I lost respect. These two people are jokes. Tony Khan's a clown. There's so many people saying it on X tonight, and that just shows you they shouldn't have aired it at all. They shouldn't have done any of this. Honestly, it
No.
just made them look so
Nope.
stupid. Absolutely
That was
absurd.
Tony Khan's way of trying to look big in front of the big WrestleMania lights, and he couldn't do it.
Yeah, he threw a punch and he missed.
Dude, it wasn't even close. Like, I'm
It
like
was.
almost shocked. I'm almost like, did I miss something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if he thought people were going to sway their way because of that footage, he doesn't have a concept. He doesn't have a concept of how real life is. You know, like
Yeah, just from the
Footage
way
is
you guys
nothing.
described it, I'm like, nah, there's no way anybody goes.
'cause, yeah,
How do you
realistic
remember
fights don't
CM
happen
Punk in
like
that
that. You
outfit?
know, like
Is Punk all to blame? No. Is he responsible? Sure, to an extent, but the way they're making it out to be, it's all his fault. He picked the fight. No, Jack Perry, you could see Jack
Yeah,
Perry
but
told him throw old man
the
probably.
timing of that airing, no matter if it looks like Punk or if it doesn't look like Punk or if it looks like Tony Khan or if it doesn't look like Tony Khan, like that just makes Tony Khan look like the angry ex.
That was definitely
Yeah.
Punk.
I can't answer on that, homie. I will not speak on things that I can't answer on. That would be wrong of me. You know, I love the Mountain Man, and yeah, I don't know his health like that, so I can't speak on that like that. I know you guys are trying to troll, but that's a little bit far, man. Eventually, I'm just gonna time you guys out for 5 minutes. And I don't want to do that.
like security footage. You know, like the angle of it. You know, like,
That's
Yeah,
nuts.
that's fucking wild. That's Tony Khan for you. Wait until the last minute, the Wednesday after WrestleMania, and Raw blows you out of the fucking water to go ahead and post some clips.
Well, he took too long. They could have made it into something fun, but they didn't. They fucked up. They blew it
CM Punk has been back for how long?
for a while. They could have done a parody. They could have done all the stuff, but they blew it, honestly.
CM Punk has been back since Survivor Series.
Yes. I'm
Last
talking about
year.
I'm talking about this
You
footage.
know?
They could have hyped it up. They could have done many different things. They
Yep.
fucked themselves over.
Yeah,
They played
my only
themselves.
thought is they're trying to frame it as like, oh, like Punk was bullying him, but very
Unfortunately,
little
the
amount
real
of crowd are
clip we
gonna be like,
wanna
oh, that
see
was like
is the
bullying, you
locker
know,
room
like.
shit.
Yeah.
You can't play that whole cancel culture shit like that. That's no way on this situation. There's no way. And if the AEW is doing that, man, fuck AEW for that shit. Tony Schiavone is trending on X, and you should see his expressions.
No, if they're talking about when they showed those videos, I saw that. I'm like, what the fuck is he selling that for?
All right, let's go to Tony
was
Khan's Twitter
embarrassing.
and let's see what's going on.
Yeah, Twitter's probably hot right now for people that are on Twitter.
Let's see. So Collision has got Powerhouse Hobbs and Kyle Fletcher versus Danielson and Claudio Castagnoli. All right.
Oh, Kyle Fletcher's group. What are they called again? The Fletcher boys. Or...
The house
Fletchers?
of oh my God, Don Callis family.
Don Fallis.
At Battle of the Belts was announced. Hook for the championship. Hook versus Shane Taylor Promotions for the
Shane Taylor
FDW title.
Promotions is the one I was thinking of.
Okay.
Shane Taylor Promotions. What
It's
the
the
fuck?
fucking poor man's hurt business.
You're falling apart, Tony.
So here we go for people are praising this. Tony Storm versus ACM from Stardom. Nobody knows who that person is. I do. I'm some hardcore wrestling fan. But people are not going to know who that person is for the elimination
know who it
title,
is.
for the women's title. What the fuck?
Barkley might know.
What's up with these elimination matches? That's one thing tonight I didn't understand. Elimination matches. Ugh.
Tony's always got some fucking hokey ass tournament going, bro. You know that.
Well, no, elimination match. Like tonight with Dustin Rhodes, people were confused. Is this a number one contender match or what is this?
Number one contender for the TK title.
Is there any chance in hell Tony really didn't give Dustin the championship chance on the same week of his brother? Was it coincidence or was it because of that?
It's because of the name, because it's up in the roof right now.
Oh, yeah, Fatal doesn't even know that. Dustin Rhodes got a championship match tonight
Yeah, and they made him bleed.
in the main event.
Yeah, they fucked up the whole Surf Strickland thing tonight. Yeah. it
They
was
want
pretty
you
bad.
thinking of WWE. Because we only, if you put Rhodes there, we're thinking of the Rhodes. All they did tonight was make us think about how good WWE's about to do.
WCW 2000, baby.
How good, yeah, exactly. How good they're doing and how good they're going to keep doing. Because,
Dustin Rhodes in the main event, when you got all this hungry ass talent. You had Jay White get beat up by Billy Gunn for 12 minutes in the ring last week. Jay White, you're fucking new. You remember how big he was?
Can I just say
in
something
Japan? He's an afterthought now.
real quick?
Jay White is gone.
So on JD's show right now, okay, and I love JD from New York. It's funny how his show is being overridden by the comments in his chat live stream right now. Everybody's just calling it garbage. Why are you reviewing this? Let's just skip this week. People are like, this shit's like, why cover it? Like everybody's shitting all over everybody that's been reviewing the shows tonight. That's crazy.
Very
Tony
poor,
Khan
very
looks
poor
like-
decision making.
Tony Khan looks like the angry ex-girlfriend that's going on a rampage right now because he is so mad about how good WrestleMania did this week.
Stupid Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho
Because
looks
of
stupid
all
tonight.
the talent he let go. You know?
So Fatal didn't know this, but
And
Chris
Jericho
Jericho and Hook,
arguing with Hook.
and he looked stupid. He was sitting on the ground arguing with Hook, and they were like, "Are you guys feuding together? You just came together, and now you're gonna feud for the title now? The fuck are we doing? That's some bad, crazy booking."
What the fuck, man? Tony Khan can't write a story to save his
Dude,
life.
Right now, no.
He can't tell one
It was
either.
corny. Why is Jericho already feuding with Hook? They shouldn't even be together, but why are they already? I don't get it.
Mm-mm.
I don't know if you feel
Dude,
fatal
Jericho
this
looked
way.
like
So
he
bad.
took a soma tonight.
I don't know
And
if
he
you.
was
AEW.
just somaed out
Mhm.
talking to Hook.
I don't know if you
AEW
feel this
sounds
way.
like they're spiraling.
I don't know if you feel this way, Fatal, but I said they need a pit bull to take the control from Tony Khan. I know Tony Khan will never
For
admit
real.
this. I think they should bring in
Take the controller.
as the pit
Mom
bull for
said
the
it's my
wrestlers
turn
and
to
control.
play, Tony.
What's his name? Scott D'Amore. Bring him in. Put him as the secondary guy right behind him that controls the wrestlers and shit. Because Tony Khan can't do it himself. It just shows.
And they
this
gotta
shows.
hire somebody to clean up all the feces in Gorilla.
Hey, wasn't that supposed to be Chris Hero though? Fucking Cassius Ono, because you could see on the footage, and I went, "Oh my god, what happened to Cassius Ono? Why does he look like the guy from Goldmember? Fucking in my belly." I'm like, "Holy shit!"
Fat
You want to make
bastard.
the fans really happy, Tony?
I mean, in
Show us
WWE,
all
he
out
looked
footage.
like that pretty much too. So
No, he looked
Show
like
us
he
that.
got more bigger. I was like, "Oh
Can I
man."
get a wrong?
Because
I
when he
want
tried
he-
to run,
CM
I thought he
Punk
was gonna
fucking get into a
fall.
fight with the Young Bucks. A
Well,
real
he was
fight.
he was always a heavy set guy, even like his like indie days.
Tony Khan wanted to make money. CM Punk would still be there.
Yep.
End of story.
Yeah, you ain't wrong.
No, that's facts right there. That is definitely hard facts.
I think Tony's in the game of honestly, let's buy the best wrestlers, not build a promotion. Let's just have a
I think
promotion
Tony's
with a name
just
on
like he's an action figure collector.
He likes being
Once
friends.
He
You
has
know,
you,
yeah.
once he has you, he can let you go and feel okay because he's already collected you. You're already
Yeah.
in his roster at some point, you know. And
wants
Tony Khan
Christian-
can retire from the wrestling business happy because he's already had everybody on his roster.
He probably wants Christian and Edge to do what Sting did, and
Yep.
have their last hurrah.
Sorry, Stream. If you see me playing with my nose, it's my allergies, man. The weather has changed down here in Southern California, and I had just took my medicine and my shit is all dried out. My bad.
Like Vince,
I took my nasal cord spray and it's just fucking with me.
real money.
Sure. In the money and in the booking and in the producing,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
Vince McMahon went to let Punk act that way. you
Well,
know,
here's
yeah.
in the
Tony
news for
Khan-
you, Josh.
If Tony Khan would have given CM Punk more creative control over on Collision, CM Punk would still be in AEW.
And he did have a lot of creative control on Collision.
Yeah, he was
because
he was
it's
a
like
producer.
Tony
But
on
he
was
the
gonna
did.
show.
tell him no.
Hey, it was all his
Yeah.
all his.
Remember when Jack
And
Perry
that's
wanted
the
to do
thing
the
is, I think Tony Khan was telling him no, and if it wasn't Tony Khan, it was somebody else like Jerry Lynn or Kenny
Remember-
Omega or somebody on the background that was telling CM Punk no, and it was somebody younger, somebody less talented, somebody with less experience, and Punk was taking that as an insult. Instead of
Remember,
Tony telling him no, somebody else was.
So here you
telling
go,
him no.
Josh. You want to see how bad AEW's been right now.
Remember when Perry wanted to do the glass spot on Collision, and all the producers and everybody, and finally Shivani had to come to Punk and ask him, "Hey, can you stop this prick from doing the spot?" So I think Punk definitely had some creative influence on Collision for sure.
So
Sure, but not all of it. You know,
so
and
if you guys didn't,
he probably wanted all of his creative control.
so
He wanted that Hulk, he
probably-
wanted that Hulkster gimmick. you know.
Wrestling podcasts are
Yeah.
going to be so great tomorrow.
So Josh, to answer your question, so there was a news story that came out today, and Averaging Down's gonna laugh at this one. So they do their super show, Grand Slam, right? We're going into the same vein as your comment. He's trying to compete with WrestleMania 40. News came out over the weekend, and Rocky Romero denied this, and I talked about this earlier. They were going to do Forbidden Door at Grand Slam, and at the last minute in the 10th hour, New Japan pulled out because Tony Khan is not willing to pay for 75% of it. New Japan said what his asking price
come
was.
back because Bolin said you weren't allowed here.
His asking price was too much money. So New Japan's in right now in a hard spot in a Hard Rock, and they said that they possibly will keep it as an arena show now, possibly. So that's the rumor and speculated. But Rocky Romero came out on Twitter and said, "No, I deny this."
Romero.
Wait,
Yeah.
Rocky Romero's still working for AEW. Right?
Yeah, he's working for both New Japan and AEW.
The boys also denied Tony Khan's allegation that they no-showed dates.
Yep. That came out too. Yep.
The boys, those are Pesci's
you,
guys.
The Tate boys came out. Yeah. And the Tate boys
Pesci,
said
Pesci loves the boys.
that their flight was rescheduled
the
and they didn't miss
WWE
no
should
show
sign
dates.
Dalton Castle and put him with some chicks and call him Dalton Castle and the girls.
That would be cool.
They
They should. They should. It would be sick.
Librarian. Can I get a hands roll? Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Any good, Pesci?
What?
Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
What about
No.
Any good?
All right, guys. It's been a great show. We talked about. I know some of you in my chat, right? Some of you here that are wrestling fans, and let me be real with you. I know you guys are gonna sit here and we're talking negative, and I know I'm gonna get some dislikes on this video. I know when it goes to being a video, we're not saying anything that's negative here. We're pretty much pointing out that AEW fucked up today. They fucked up, and that's the thing you guys gotta understand. To these people that are licking AEW, like, guys, I don't, and I'm gonna be true. I'm gonna be honest with people. I don't like when people are biased and they sit back and anything. If you're a real fan, you got to take the good, the bad, and the ugly. And you got to call out the bad. You got to call out the good. You got to... Me in the position I'm in when I talk wrestling, even doing this wrestling show with everybody, right? You got to give the good, the bad, and the ugly. You can never say one show's better than the other. But tonight, AEW put their foot in their mouth. That's the truth. Guys, go watch the show. Tell me different. Tell me when I'm telling lies, please. As CM Punk says, tell me when I'm telling lies.
Hard to go back to hokey combat when I've been fucking doing war.
Exactly.
Oh, and
You've
That's
been
like
fighting
probably
like a
I'm
real
gonna play
ass
Valhalla.
warrior.
Like, what's this shit? I
So-
just beat out, Elden Ring twice, where you're really fighting with swords and shields.
by the way, I know I'm going to get some dislikes on my video because there's those AEW people that don't want to see what they want to see. And I'm going to tell you this straight up. You got to give the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to wrestling, and AEW put a foot in the mouth. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
You fucking bedroom streamer.
Look,
Yeah.
You're a living meme.
Yeah.
WrestleMania does it all the time. They give the good, the bad, and the downright fucking ugly.
And,
So.
yeah,
Call
I'm
me
going to be raw and
Jannetty.
uncut, and I'm biased to you.
Pesci said I'm Marty Jannetty.
He called me genetic.
Somebody's going to tell me tomorrow in my comment section, oh, by the way, yeah, AEW had a great show. I didn't see it the way you seen it. And I'm like, what world are you living
Jannetty
in?
actually sent me a link to a show today. I didn't accept it.
Who did, Genetti?
Jake, he actually
Yeah,
sent
yeah,
me.
Genetti.
But he called
Yeah,
me
Genetti. He
Jannetty.
called me Genetti.
But
He
we're
said
going
I'm
to
a
wrap it up here. I want to
Genetti
thank
and Shawn
everybody for being part
I
of the
should
show
have went
tonight.
on a show and put my name as Michael.
Michaels.
I want to thank everybody for being part of the show tonight. Pesci, the PWO, all of you hanging out with me. We're gonna end it here on YouTube side. Again, there's gonna be a lot of channels. Go watch the videos, man. Everybody's shitting on AEW right now. And don't tell me AEW, don't troll and say AEW is the greatest show on earth.
That was hilarious.
And by the way, stream, do not tell me that AEW is the greatest show on earth. I have some of you that tell me that a lot. Not really. Far from it right now. Far from that.
Nazi laugh.
The Harlem Globetrotters are the greatest show on earth.
Oh, man.
I get that AEW is the greatest show on earth. I'm like, no, not right now.
He
They
said the
ain't.
Harlem Globetrotters is the greatest show on earth. Yeah.
Well, it's a real fucking show, dude.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Now, AEW, to wrap this up, AEW could potentially turn it around and they could, have a great show. Be a solid number 2. You don't need to try to compete with your constituents over on WWE side. Let them have
Exactly.
number 1. Concede.
He called me Jannetty.
Concede. Please, for the love of God, Tony Khan, please concede. You're ruining your show.
And he's losing sight of that. He started
Yeah,
out.
Jake says the St. Louis
as
Rams are the
not
greatest
really-
show on turf.
Yeah, Tony Khan started out as not really caring about what other people thought or what other people were doing. But now he does.
Now he does, and he's doing everything he said he wasn't gonna do
Uh-huh.
in 2019.
The hell's coming out of your shit? Oh, he's playing the Harlem Globetrotters.
Oh my god. But honestly, that's the show for Dynamite. We'll be back on Saturday night. Oh my god. I love you guys. I'll see you guys. I'm gonna end it here. Dashboard. All right, I'll see you guys later. Peace.